All right, so the 1 year anniversary of Lari Pati, right?
Lari Pati.
Larry Pati.
Or Lari Pati.
Excuse me.
How you want to say it?
I feel like I need my pinky up when I say that. Larry Pati. And, we were obviously all there, and it was packed. The line was crazy. I got there at 11, and I had thoughts of I might not get in. Mm-hmm. I was like, wow. But what can you kind of explain, your feeling, throwing that event 1 year later, and then you see just the love that you're getting from everybody, and obviously the amount of people that are coming out and things like that. What was that feeling like?
The feeling is it's a blessing, honestly, because for me it's like people don't have to come outside; they can go home, they can go anywhere they want to go. So the fact that people actually come out and come early and want to be a part of the experience, and through their showing up, add to the experience for everybody else is kind of like cool. And I'm just kind of happy that Indianapolis has something that they feel like, whoa, this is as cool as anything in the world or the country, but it's in Indianapolis, and that's super important for me, just because, for a long time it's always been, Indianapolis doesn't have this or that, or this is not like that in Indy or back home. It's like, well, somebody got to create it, and somebody has to have that taste and understanding of like culture, not only just in the city but globally, of like how things work and move. And I feel like I have a good understanding of that, and I think that's kind of where it's kind of led to our success, just me kind of understanding how to translate culture to people who either are unaware but also kind of remind people who do know. And so and really above all of it is just making sure Indianapolis is like champion through it all.
Right.
Yeah.
I know for me, like when I have people come in from out of town, and like it just so happens to be that third weekend, I'm like, yes, this is like a representation of what we really got. Like,
or when it's the weekend where it's Lari Pati, then it's Who's Who, then it's
that's the
event on Sunday.
right
that's like, oh
best
yeah,
one.
you about to get the whole
It's
shebang.
like, yeah, and it's just that feeling of when, like, all right, you come here to have a good time, and it's a good time about to happen.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And when you leave, you're like, damn, I know I want to go back to Indy. I know I want to go kick it with G. I want to kick it with, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the best feeling. And if I could tell anybody, just make sure you come on the third Friday, the third weekend, so we can be lit, for sure.
I think it was really cool because I think I missed the first three, started coming on the fourth one. And it was dope. It was lit. But to see the progression to what it was on Friday, to see it like trending on Twitter and people,
that was kind of
a lot of newcomers first time, and then all the people that's been there through it all. I think that was dope to see that crowd mixed together, and I think the hype around it, or not even really hype, but knowing that the party is dope and everybody wanted to be there so much that people were sneaking in the back was crazy.
That's
to
beautiful.
Even see. Yeah,
it's just one of those things. It's like to me, it's just like I wasn't tripping on it because it's like it's the anniversary. Like I want everybody to experience it. So like people was like, yo, people, I'm like, yo, man, it's whatever, bro. Like at this point, I want everybody just to enjoy it, and it's like celebration for the people. And so like I'm not about to be like one of these other guys, be like, I'm just like, dude, it's a party, man. Like we want you to come in. We want everybody to be involved in however they got to do it.
That don't mean just come and try to finesse, though.
right.
You still got people hit me up that day up, be like, yo, bro, I'm like, dude, it's the anniversary, man. Like, you see me Twitter, we trending. It's like, I don't know what's going to happen, but like, I was safe to assume it's going to be kind of nuts. So just come early, like I tell everybody. And that's the thing that really kind of surprised me about Friday was like, usually when you tell people to come early, it's like, or hey, early arrival suggested. Like, people are like, all right, I'm going to just still come my normal time. I'm going to come like 15 minutes earlier. But the fact that people showed up, we started at 10, and the fact that we had a line at 11, and I'm just like, okay, this is going to be one of those nights. And then by the time it was like 12 o'clock, we hit capacity, and it was still a line. And then before 12 happened, we had told people like, yo, if you haven't bought a ticket online, it's a 50-50 chance you might get in. And that's because like the venue was like, yo, this is getting kind of crazy, and it's like already early. So it was like half those people in the line left, and then by the time like 11:45 came, another line of people came, and so it was kind of stretched out to like past the fountain to the Mexican spot across the street. So I was just like, okay, this is something nuts. We got something crazy here. And the fact that like everybody comes with just like love in their heart and just kind of good energy and positivity, it's really awesome. And so it's kind of overwhelming. It hasn't really sat in really because I don't really drink the Kool-Aid. Like, I don't be like, yo, our shit is the best shit. I'm like, no, it's just like, it's because it's not about that. It's about just giving people something different and something new, and they can feel like it's just as much their thing as it is whoever's putting it together.
That's exactly how I feel.
That's why, like, I always tell people all the time, is like, we don't get here. None of the success happens without the people. Like, you guys spreading the word, buying tickets, giving feedback. It's all on the people. That's what I tell people. Is like, everybody comes to me, especially Friday, like, yo, how'd you do this? I'm like, I just fuck with the people. And I love Indianapolis, and I love the people that have their own things going on. I support them, and I do it because I want to do it. It just happens that they're like, you know what, damn, this dude really is a genuine dude. I feel like, damn, I gotta support him. Like, and it's not even though I know that, I don't look at it from that mindset. It's just like, I just do it because the only way Indianapolis is gonna be on that level where culturally we're like as innovative or inspiring as any other city is like we support our own, and we, whether you're white, black, blue, purple, I don't really care. Like, it's about Indianapolis culture at the end of the day. And that's kind of where I tell people all the time is like, it's a lot of people kind of try to like look at it as like, okay, because I'm black, they like, oh, is the black thing? No, because we had Spanish people there, we had Latin people there, we had white people there, we had black people there, of course. And it's like, for me, it's about creating experiences where it brings everybody together, regardless of what you're into, whether you an artist, you're a corporate person, you're a hustler, whatever you're into,
all walks of life.
Yeah, all backgrounds, gay, straight, whatever you're into. Like, I just want you to feel like when you come to our events that you feel like for that 4 to 5 hours, you feel like, man, I never would cross paths with these people or interact with these people, but like for this time, like, let's have fun, let's vibe, and let's like just come with love. And I think we've kind of done that so far, and I think that's kind of what's kind of tripped a lot of people out. We want to go to meetings sometimes. It's just like, how are you doing this? I'm like, I'm just because I'm black doesn't mean I don't have other interests. And like, I have other, like, I'm more than just what you may perceive of me when y'all come into it. But then like, I wear, dirty sneakers. That's not typical, I'm not a flashy dude. I don't wear jewelry or, I've already done that in high school. I already did the whole fresh thing. Like, now I'm just kind of like trying to like, how can I create history here in Indianapolis? And how can I like, leave a legacy where people can kind of look to what I'm doing and be like, damn, he did it here. I could do it here. I don't have to like, now it's the second, now you have to like question like, damn, do I really need to go to a bigger city to do something? Right. Well, he kind of did it here, and he provided help for everybody around him. So like, damn, now that I could do something like that, I can also help my friends and whoever I know. And I know how to do it because he kind of laid the blueprint, or a blueprint per se, of how to do it. So,
yeah. I mean, took all the words out of our mouths on that one. I mean, I just wanted to touch on like how it was trending on Twitter. Oh yeah, I think it was like at one point 24,000 tweets with either Lari or anything associated with it in the tweet. And I'm just like, wow, like
that tripped me out, and I didn't know that until like AO from Wishful Thinking. He had texted me. He was like, "Yo, is this thing trending on Twitter?" So I had to like go and look, and then like I looked at the Indianapolis trend, and I was like, "Oh, snap, it really is trending." Because I seen a couple of tweets be like, "Yo, what is this Lari thing? What is this Lari thing?" People, I just never.
I'm surprised. We used to get that question now, but I mean,
but it's kind of like new people.
It's early, it's new, but it's just kind of like, wow.
When I hear that question, I think, okay, that's a person that never been, they don't know, but it's getting to people who don't know, and it's
by word of mouth.
Yeah, and it's like it's kind of crazy because it's like I didn't intend for that. Like I tweeted, like it was like a year ago when you would have told me like we would have sold out of a place. I'm like, cool, I'll believe you, but like to sell out back to back to back to back to back to back to back, and the line get longer and longer and longer, like I would have to laugh at you because I'm just like, nah, that's not me, not us, not me. Like I'm just a regular dude. So it's just like, but the fact is, people believe in the idea and believe in what we're trying to push, and the positive message, and just the community message is just like, hey, sticking together and helping one another. And I think our parties and the experiences we put together, it kind of allows a space where all the people in Indianapolis can kind of come together with their own ideas and be like, oh, we can kind of connect. And, you know, hopefully there's a lot more ideas that kind of spawn from just showing up and being like, yo, what do you do? Oh, damn. Yo, let's get you on the podcast, or hey, let's do a collaboration, or you let's work on this project with me. You know, that's what I want to kind of foster with the experiences we do, because it's like, it's about, for me, I try to serve the creative community first, and that's kind of where my mind is, and then everything else is everything else. And I think that's kind of what we see with the trending things. Like, it's more like the outside people that like, oh, catching on to it and be like, yo, what is this? And, you know, Friday we had line that, you know, that tripped me out. 'Cause I'm just like, dude, how? And even when we closed, even when we shut it down early at 2 a.m. and everybody's outside, and, you know, they got the muscle cars out there, drag racing.
That was tight.
And, you know, got girls hanging out the door. I'm like, this is like Freaknik in Indianapolis. So I'm just like,
that was actually kind of cool though. Like when y'all did, and then I just looked out the window. I'm on the stage. And I'll just look out the window on the side, and I just see like it's people everywhere. Like they're not even lined up. They're just hanging out. And I thought that was tight too within itself. Like, yeah, you're not in the party, but you're in the experience. Being together in Indianapolis.
I think somebody tweeted something like, I couldn't get in, so I was parking lot pimping or something.
There's a lot of that going on.
That was funny.
Because everybody's like, because it literally was like everybody's there, and like even you couldn't get in, it was like, well, we got at least a couple people outside, like even on the patio or even on the fountain, even in the parking lot, like it just got, everybody got their thing, and everybody's in the same vicinity. And so it's just cool to have something like that where everybody is there, and even it's all love. It's all like,
definitely love.
Even people who don't really know each other, or maybe they know of each other through social media, or just, you know, back in the day. It's like, damn, it's kind of crazy. You like, a lot of people say like, yo, it's the one place where like I'll see someone I haven't seen since like high school or even in college, and it's like a reunion in a way, and it's like, dang, that's kind of nuts, because it's like, what else do you do it? And it's like, I don't know, man. It's humbling to kind of feel that love. And even I think the one thing I seen from the feedback was just like, someone's like, yeah, it's like one place. It's like I can go there and I can dance and hype, you and a stranger will hype each other up like y'all best friends. And it's like, that for me is like the bee's knees. That, and like someone saying like, yo, it's like every Lari is like the first time you go. And it's like, that, those two things is like, that's kind of what I want you to feel.
For me personally, awesome. There's never been a Lari that I went to that was like the one before.
That's
everyone that I went to.
Different ingredients.
It felt different. It didn't feel like, and of course we go to the same function and we want people to come to this function. But literally, like, you go 3 times, you're going to get 3 different feelings, but every feeling is going to be fire.
Yeah.
But man.
And also just quickly to speak to your point earlier, like, it's a family affair. And I tweeted that a couple of days ago, or yesterday actually, but I know that there's certain people that I may not see throughout the year, but I'm going to see them there. And I'm like, okay, I haven't seen you, but I'm going to see you there, and we're going to get lit and turn up together, which is dope. So yeah, that was really fun. We saw a cousin and we didn't expect to see.
You seen family members
in there. Oh shit! Like all types of stuff.
It's a reunion, man.
Listening to $3 for $1.
$3 for $1.
$3 for $1 podcast.
We cannot hit 60 for 60. Come on, man. You can't have these conversations without bias.
I mean, that's just real.
I wasn't being biased. Bias is oozing out of your shirt. I told you, Wayy was not good.
Why did it change from the listening party to whatever came out?
Pusha T even said
that doesn't even make sense.
What about it?
He gets locked up in the playoffs.
Play in the playoffs, he's always hurt.
That's an NBA champion, bro. Welcome to $3 for $1 podcast. You're here with your usual suspects, and we got a special guest today. I'll do the usual intros. To my right, Ravel LeVar. To my left, Brittany Devon. And our special guest today, we do have Steven, a.k.a. Pitch for Pennies. You might know him as the event producer for Lari Pati. He got the Beat Me, is it 123?
143.
143, excuse me. Beat Me 143 and a couple other events. So thank you for coming on, man. We appreciate it. Mm-hmm. And yeah, so we're going to kind of get started. You want to give them a little intro on yourself before we kind of dive into our topics here?
Yeah, so I gave a solid intro. So Stephen Russell, event producer for Lari Pati. We also do Beat Me 143 at Casbah and Broad Ripple. And I just recently put out a opinion piece called the Indianapolis Renaissance, talking about how to turn, our Indianapolis creative community into a respected industry amongst the higher ups. And doing that through the principles that I've applied and the and give a guideline of how other people in the community can do that as well. Because I believe if everybody's cooking and everybody's rocking, there's no reason why Indianapolis can't be a place or a destination that the world kind of looks to for inspiration, innovation, and economic development.
Yeah. Make sure you check that out.
That's a great article. That's great. Tell them where you can read that at.
So you can read that on Medium. You can find that on my Instagram bio, which is at Pinch for Pennies on Instagram. And also the same for Twitter, Pitch for Pennies on Twitter. And also at laripati.com. That's LARIPATI.com, where you can find everything, including the article.
Yeah.
Fire.
Yep. A lot of dope things coming as well. So I'm excited to have you on, man. We're going to kind of just dive into the topics here.
Let's go.
As we usually do. So we do have 3 albums to review.
Mm-hmm.
You guys want to? Is there any particular one you guys want to start with?
Steven, you got one off the top of your head you want to start with?
We can start with K-Camp.
Yeah.
So it's fresh on my mind right now.
Yep. So K-Camp went ahead and he dropped a full-length project.
Full length.
Yeah, full length. Because usually, I think in the past, he usually drops an EP with like max 10 songs. He's been doing that. So I was surprised to see the full-length EP with 15 songs. What'd you guys think?
It is called Way Too Critical, by the way.
Way Too Critical.
With Bobby Critical and a lot of the production.
Yep.
One of the best producers out right now. In my personal opinion, he just has the funkiest beats. So all in all, I would say it's pretty good. Pretty darn good.
Okay.
I thought it was like a pregame joint.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
It's a great pregame album. I like pregame albums. Like you can just play them. You can play them anywhere. It's especially good, like I said, for the pregame. But I think this one in particular will make it to the car rotation because it just feels really.
It sounds great in the car. I wrote it. I listened to it on the way here, and I just let it play. Let it play, and I'm just like, there really is no skips on there. He got a couple songs that he had put out released like a couple months before, but like
wasn't his and her. Yeah,
his and hers, Switch, and Lottery.
Yeah.
But some of my favorites on there is On the Run, Love Eat, Slow Down with Young Dolph. That's really good. So Important. Ball Out. A to Z, Suicide, the intro track. I like it. It's like I like the whole thing.
I was gonna say.
It sounds like it's really something I wish Future would make. Like I hope one day Future be like, "Yo, K-Cam, can you like executive produce my album?" Because like I feel like it's like if Future would kill these beats and like kill like K-Camp has the melodies. I think Future has good melodies, but like K-Camp just is like. He does it so effortlessly where I feel like
it is effortless.
It's like I wish Future would like, damn, let me work with him and kind of like create this. I think he probably create his best album if you work with him, to be honest. Because I think K-Camp, he just has this thing. Like, I don't know. It's just like, and I think I say that because I think K-Camp, I think he's one of those artists kind of like The Dream where like a lot of people will bite his sound. I think a lot of people have been this sound. And I think it's kind of those things where he could probably produce or write for other people or give people like a reference track and they'll kill it like Future would, or like with Rihanna with Dream or Beyonce with Dream. And I think maybe hopefully K-Camp maybe looks at that now that he's like independent now and he can kind of like pick and choose what he want to do. I think that'd be a cool lane for him to kind of kill just from like the hip hop and like alternative R&B kind of space.
When I look at K-Camp, I don't even look at him. I don't know what lane he's in. He doesn't really feel, to me it doesn't feel like he's in a lane. I feel like he's really just putting music out. And I think that's what I appreciate about him the most. I'm not the biggest K-Camp fan, but I do appreciate his music because when it comes out it sounds complete, it sounds finished, it sounds thought out. It sounds like he took his time with this one. It looked like his last project came out last year and it felt like it came out way before.
I say that one. I was like it sounded just kind of rushed. Like it wasn't like his thing, especially knowing all the stuff I listened to before. I was like, it sound like he makes songs. A lot of cats make music, but he actually is really good at making songs, especially hit songs. So
he don't really need no help too.
That's the thing too.
He's usually light on the features.
I don't think it's no on him. It's like
one or two at all.
Yeah.
That's the thing I like about K-Camp. I'm more of a fan of like like the Kiss mixtapes and things like that, the slower stuff, he kills that too. So he's in every lane, which is what I fuck with. So I'm definitely glad that he dropped this EP off. I think I saw like he had posted it in the middle of the week. I seen that. I'm like, I'm
noticing that's a trend too. People are starting to go back to the Tuesday now.
Yeah, I like Tuesday
because it used to be Tuesday back in the day. Tuesday used to be the day that you release anything, album, singles, and then for some reason, like maybe like 2010, I want to say it shifted to like Fridays. Yeah. Maybe even 2012 it shifted to Fridays, and I was just like, I don't understand, and it kind of is like counterintuitive because it's like if you. It doesn't give enough time to DJs to kind of like play it.
Right.
And then it gives out for person, I feel like it gives a cop out for the DJ to be like, oh, I couldn't get to it. But it's like, that's a whole nother story. But going on Friday, it's kind of like, dang, you got to, all that music at one time.
It's hard to digest.
Even for us.
Right, yeah.
Even for us.
I was going to say.
With us putting this stuff out on Tuesday, we got, what is that?
We record on Sunday, so 2 days to listen to
2 days.
To digest everything.
Right.
At least on Tuesday, you get a couple listens in. You can
at
least get everything once.
Right.
So,
what about you, Britt?
It was good. I like K-Camp a lot. So
a lot.
K-Camp stand?
I mean, no, I'm not a stan. I ain't gonna take it there. But I do like his music, and so I was excited to hear this project. I first listened to it when I was at work, so I went back and listened to it again when I was in the
full bag of work.
Yeah, I listened to it again when I was in the car just so I can hear it in that setting. And like you said, it's definitely a writer. So I mean, I like it. Of course, His and Hers was a dope song. I heard that before. I don't even like
this was
pretty much the whole.
I didn't really catch the titles
because it kind of blended together a little bit.
It was just right. I ain't really need to look down.
I mean, that's a good thing.
Yeah, I think that is a good thing.
It's rare in these days where you don't skip nothing. Because I literally did not skip anything.
There was no need for me either. So this is a
only song I really skipped was like songs I already heard like multiple times. Because I'm like, because you know back then he only had singles, so it's like, you listen to it to death. I'm like, all right, I heard this.
Do you skip songs on the first listen though? I try not to.
Oh God, I try not to, but if it's tough to hear,
if I gotta skip songs, it's probably
I don't know. We gonna get to the Lil Nas X, but I skipped the Old Town Road just because.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
it's a big single,
but he introed Old Town Road, and then the last song was Old Town Road, just without Billy Ray.
Go straight to it now.
I said, all right.
You might as well go right to it.
What a transition! What a transition!
But yeah, definitely check out Way Too Critical, K-Camp. Great project there. So yeah, hell of a segue. Let's get into Lil Nas X. He dropped the 7 EP, and it was 8 songs. And I fuck with Lil Nas X because like what he's doing, I think is a little underrated. He's breaking down them genre like barriers. You know, they tried to box him in at the beginning, didn't work. Came back with Billy Ray and just blew the door open.
Yeah, he did.
And I fuck with that hard body. So you know, I definitely had to give this tape a ride. And man,
it was a perfect storm, honestly, for like what he's done. I think it was like the perfect time. It was because it was like if you look at the hip hop or alternative hip hop or whatever, like it was a trend where you had a lot of like pop punk and like rock influences throughout the years. If you can go back to like 07 when like Probably Like a Rockstar was during that time, or Jim Jones back when it was that era. So it's been a long time coming. It just happened in the last, I would say, 3 to 4 years heavy, where you had a lot of influences just because the genre has kind of widened to now it's almost hip hop is now where rock was 20 years ago, 30 years ago.
I mean, hip hop is basically pop now almost.
It's the number one genre in the country.
Exactly.
And it's the one that's actually carrying culture at this point. So
definitely.
I think with Lil Nas X, it was like the perfect time. And now I think what kind of made it so controversial was like it wasn't like hip hop where you take a little bit of this, a little bit of that. He literally I'm going to take the actual cadence.
Exactly.
The tone, inflection,
everything.
And I'm going to take pretty much a rock and roll beat, add some 808s to it, which is so hip hop, and then now it's like this fusion. Now it's like it's undeniable. Now you got little kids. Now they like, oh snap! If you really think about it, it only helps hip hop even more become a staple. And I would say what he's doing in the project, he just came out with 7. I think it will be one of those seminal albums. Even if he doesn't come out anything else or he doesn't become anything else, I think it'd be one of those projects that people can look to in history and be like, this is the point in time where
turning point,
things shifted, just like College Dropout. And I know that's a big kind of like crazy comparison, but it's like these albums in time where you see a shift in culture, and I think that's what people have to start looking at.
Even 808s.
Oh yeah. That changed everything.
Probably the one, I would say. This one for me, I liked. I didn't know what to expect because for me, the way I look at Nas X, it's like, I don't know if parody is the right word.
That's the right word.
But it's kind of jokey.
Yeah.
His whole thing is kind of jokey.
And you see him on Twitter and stuff.
It's like meme rap.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, so when I went in, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if Old Town Road was just going to be the one thing and he's going to give us the regular, rap. But he went in and he continued to do what he was doing, and almost like you were saying, Steven, it's like he almost has an agenda, almost like
like
I
serious.
really want to break this down, but I'm gonna break it down in a parody way, which is cool.
So nobody takes him serious. So that way, the expectation is low,
Right.
and so now it's like, oh, none of your expectations low. It's like now anything I do that's even remotely good, it's like I over deliver, and now you like not immediately get behind it, and it's kind of this.
It's smart.
I mean, he's a troll, so it's like trolls are pretty smart, so it's kind of cool.
The standout record for me was Rodeo.
Oh my gosh,
that
might be the next one.
When it came on, I thought that too. This should be the next one. But when it came on, like the beat, of course, that's what got me right. And then he was doing his thing. He's doing his thing. And I forgot that Cardi was on
that
the
surprised
song.
me. That surprised me.
She came back on. I was like, oh, this is the one I seen that had Cardi on it.
Cardi feature?
Yeah.
It was, here you go. I knew you was going to say something about it.
But and then Cardi came through and did her thing, and then that was the one. That should be the follow-up record.
And that should be. I think regardless of even they push it, I think that's what the people gonna actually ask for. I think just sonically how. Like I could just see that in the car. It sounds nuts.
It sounds great.
So I can imagine it like in a party setting. That is, it's like I feel like it gave me like kind of like that Mo Bamba vibe. But I think it's maybe because like Take a Ditch produced it. They're really good too with production. But it's just like that. It just sounded like something else. Like Old Town Round sounded like, oh, this is a dope record. But Rodeo. I mean, people talk about Panini, which is a good record.
But
I liked it too. Yeah.
Rodeo, it just sounds bigger. It sounds more like stadium status type music, and I'm just like
the Cardi feature helps as well.
Oh yeah, and that gives it energy. She had her popularity, and I think that's one of those records where like you have Cardi B, who's already like a American icon at this point. And then you got Lil Nas X, who's like this endearing kid who has this crazy dope record that's bringing hip hop, rock, and country people together. And it's like, well, that's a recipe for like.
I just think that's
beauty.
That's hard to follow up, and that's my only thing. Like, I do believe this should be the next one. But he milked that cow, what we call Old Town Road.
I thought it was going to be 7 songs with Old Town Road with different remixes on it.
Because he dropped that before.
I thought it was Young Thug on it. I was like, okay, I am posted it.
I would have kept it. But I don't know. Like, I want him to top it. I want him to even get there. But Old Town Road was just such a huge record. I really want him to do it. But that's going to be tough.
But one of those things people don't realize, too, and I think that's maybe the pressure, is like, people want you to have a follow-up. I think right now, I think nowadays, as opposed to back in the day, being a one-hit wonder isn't a bad thing. Even if you have a run, I think he's going to milk this run till it's done. And if that's it, he'll be like, you know what? I made a lot of money doing this EP, do some shows, like, cool. And hopefully got his masters on it, so that way he can kind of publish it, because I was playing it during the All-Star NBA Finals. So, I mean, hopefully, I'm sure. I was
wondering about that.
I'm sure if his business is right. I mean, I think he's doing all right. So, I mean, he can carry himself. But hopefully he just kind of like, rides the wave as long as he can, because everybody has their time.
I think whatever comes next is going to happen organically.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe like our opinion is going to push it more. For me, I like the album because I'm not a big rock and roll fan. And I'm not a country fan, really, but it made me
open to it.
It made me say, maybe I should go back and figure out who the legends in rock and roll are, or in country music.
And that's what music's supposed to do. It's like, that's where the best music comes from, is when you kind of like it brings people together. And I think that's why you have records like, as far as hip hop goes, like like Swagger Like Us, which was like, whoa, at the time was like, that's a crazy record.
That record was insane.
MIA on it, T.I., Lil Wayne, Kanye, who's thinking of that? So it's just one of those things where I think when you had those wrong, I think, like I said, what he's doing, I think is bringing people together, and with social media being like this amplifier for culture, it's like, now it's like you can't run from it now. It's like it's cemented in history now.
Right. Yeah, great. I mean, great project. The rock songs on there, I feel what you're saying, Brittany, about like, it might not be my favorite, but I can respect it though too. It's like good music. I can see this is good music. I can see somebody else enjoying this way more than I would. But yeah, Panini and Rodeo were the standout tracks for me. And I see what you're saying about Rodeo being a little bit bigger, but Panini just hit number 1.
Oh, yeah.
So
What?
Yeah,
because that was the lead off single.
Yeah. So
What? Wait, what? Well, number 1 on what? On iTunes or whatever iTunes is?
It might
or
be in the
Apple
country
or?
to come. We'll see. We'll see.
I believe it was the country. I'll say that now.
We'll see next
We'll
week.
fact
that's
check
dope.
it, but
That's dope.
2 number ones.
I might have been just that Friday. He drops on Friday and then it shoots
it
to
shot
number
up to
1.
number one.
Because
And
he
then-
dropped it on Wednesday, the Panini record, and then the album came out Friday. So
Yeah.
I would be surprised. Like next Wednesday, we'll see like you number 1 in the country.
That's dope. I'm rooting
That
for it,
is
man.
dope.
So,
I'm rooting for him too.
yeah.
He got the kids. You got the kids.
You got the kids. Kids will take you far.
Exactly.
Number 1 record. Number 1 record, man.
All right.
All right, definitely check that out. The 7 EP by Lil Nas X. And then the last album we wanted to talk about was from the God, Pi'erre Bourne. Pi'erre Bourne, the God, man. That's at this point that's included. It's like a pimp named Slickback. You got to just say that
The
all
whole
in
thing.
one. He dropped The Life of Pi'erre 4. This project only has him on it. No features at all, I believe. 16 tracks.
Oh yeah, I forgot no
I think
features.
he
No.
might have had
Dang.
some sound effects
Did
from some
he-
people.
Okay.
But I didn't check the credits to see if he gave it. But, I mean, there is no album
Well,
credits.
there's clearly no big artists on here that
Right.
we would notice. Obviously
Right.
the Playboy, the Lil Uzis, the ones he's familiar with working
And
with.
those are actually the 2 sound effects I thought I heard.
Okay, they might be on there. They might be on there, but mostly this is him. And man, can I just say the production on this is phenomenal.
Goat shit.
This guy is my top 2, and he's not 2 right now in production.
As of right now,
production
yes, I
wise,
would
right now.
Highly agree.
Yeah, he's on fire. So I really hope we have I'm getting off that one, but I really hope we have a Cardi and Uzi tape coming up. That would be phenomenal.
Produced
with
by him.
Yeah.
Bro, that'd be the best album in life.
Yeah.
In life.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Man, I'll be if they just drop that, I'll be good for a while, man.
I would
that'll
say
hold me over. But
the album I've been playing it all since Friday. I've been playing it back to back to back. Had multiple records. I played at least 20 times.
Wow.
So I'm just like, I just be in my car and just like, yo, run it back.
Running back.
Because it sounds good, and it's like it's not even he's like a good writer. It just they're good songs. And I think that's something that's a larger conversation with some people like older heads or just people who just like so hip hop purists. It's like you need lyrics. I'm like, well,
No, you don't.
you just need to make a good song,
Right.
Yeah.
And if you can make a good song, people can like. They're forgiving with lyrics. I mean, of course, you don't want to say nothing, not say nothing, but he has some good stuff. I mean, he has some good topics on some of the songs.
Yeah, he had some really good topics. I did take that away from it too. I'm Pi'erre, the songstress, the rapper, melody, I'm not the biggest fan of, but like you said, I can appreciate just the music. So when it plays, the production, of course, the beats are insane. And, of course, what he's doing on the track, the melodies or the rapping, quote unquote, goes with what he's making.
Yep.
So I can just holistically listen and appreciate. I thought it was good, too. I do have to go back because, like K-Camp, this was one that I didn't catch the titles. So I will have to go back and, like you said, you had a few that that, by title were good. I will have to go back and find those because this was one of those that it just ran. It was, cohesive. And I liked it.
Yeah. I think it was good songs, like you said. And I don't categorize myself as a hip hop purist. I do prefer lyrics most of the time.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, we got
No, like I prefer lyrics most of the time, but like I was telling G earlier, I just want to understand you. Like if you mumble rapping, then 9 chances out of 10, I'm gonna be like, I don't have nothing for it, so I checked out. But if I can understand you, and it don't have to be lyrically like dope, but as long as I can hear you and you riding on the beat, then I'm cool.
It's a vibe.
But I think that's a double-edged sword too. Like if I can understand you, I want it to be high level almost in a way. But if I can't understand you, I think that's a lot of pressure on your producer to mend that beat into whatever you're trying to say. You see what I'm saying?
And that's what Pi'erre is good at.
And I think that's what he's good
with
at.
his beats, even with like the Young Nitty shit, and even with Dial-It last year, it just like he crafts these beats for the artists that he worked with closely. It perfectly fits them and how they rap.
Right.
Because I understand Cardi, but I don't understand Nudie sometimes.
Yeah,
And
no,
it's crazy
I fall into that similar
Nudie, I think because
category
he's like really slurs a lot.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm like, and sometimes he'll rap kind of too
That
like a little fast. Yeah. So it's just
I
like
think it's backwards because sometimes I don't understand Cardi, but I
people say they don't
understand
understand
Nudie.
Cardi.
I understand Nudie
Man,
clearly.
I don't
the thing is,
understand
I be
either
paying
one of them
attention. I'm just
sometimes.
like,
Yeah, they knows me.
but
Like, and the perfect example of that is Flatbed Freestyle.
Oh, man.
That's one of my favorite songs from Cardi. But like he's literally mumbling on it. He's not saying anything, but it goes so hard. I don't know why. And
that
I think
album is probably one of the best albums in this decade. I'm going to say top 10.
I would definitely.
A lot better than some Drake albums, but
Okay.
we'll leave that for a conversation for another day. But yeah, Pi'erre Bourne,
he did that.
TLP, this project here. I mean, we had Feds, which is I loved. Proof was really good. Routine, really good. Listen to Racer like 30 times. Horoscopes, love that. Speed Dial, love it. Guillotine, love that too. And he got some other songs that's in there that's like really just background music that's really good.
You say Routine? Mm-hmm. You said that? Yeah.
So it's just really, really good stuff. I listened to the album. I just made me want to be like, yo, I need you to kind of get Uzi and Cardi, trap them in the studio and get a mixtape going or something like EP. Give me like something like just because like it's time.
I'm sure they have it. It's just Uzi got the little contract dealings or whatnot.
Yeah,
and the take is supposed to be coming too. So
Yeah.
it's
Oh
really
my
just-
gosh! Finally.
Oh, and then Playboy Cardi in Metro is supposed to be doing something too. So
Okay, Metro coming back.
All right.
Yeah, so
we'll see. We'll see about
we'll
that.
see on that, but
We'll see.
it's just really. I feel like it's just gonna be about timing, of course.
Yeah.
Whenever the
Right.
time is right.
And what was that? 2 episodes ago, we did the draft. We chose the artists and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I drafted Pi'erre. And you had a question where, do you think Pi'erre could work with the other artists? You know, I had J. Cole, Big Sean, and people like that. And I'm like, I really think this dude can work with other artists. I think he can expand his, genre almost.
Speaking of J. Cole, I had to think when I was listening to the album just because he wrote it, produced it.
Yeah.
Which one?
Pi'erre Bourne, like
this one?
he
Okay.
wrote it,
Yeah,
produced it, and I would say if I was like writer, producer, that kind of like triple threat or a dual threat, I feel like it's Big Crit,
He has
Pi'erre
to be
Bourne,
more.
then J. Cole.
Okay.
And
I agree with the crit for sure.
Right.
And
The first for sure.
that's because I feel like Pi'erre Bourne, he just makes better songs than J. Cole. And it's,
Wait, by him? Okay, so his songs by himself are better than J. Cole's.
yeah.
I can't roll with that, man. And I'll be on here telling it like it is about J. Cole, but I can't roll with that.
On what? But is it because you taking subject matter, you putting it on a higher, or are you really looking at it
Right.
musically?
Well, okay, so
Because
production.
like you
okay,
say,
let me.
like you say about J. Cole.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Are
get
you
that.
done? Are you done?
have we not heard J. Cole's Force Fifth Drive, which is, let the J. Cole fans, no features, let no features.
Yeah, no,
That
trust me.
was a
I don't.
great
That
album,
shit,
though.
that's just out the window for me. I don't really care about that.
Oh, the no features thing. I don't. care.
I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, I don't care, but
They be killing me.
because I be on here like I want to hear J. Cole in different pockets.
Just
Right.
get him. Stop. He's selfish. He's an egomaniac. I'm at this point. Like it's
Wow.
10 years in the game. Work with other. Even if you could work with Knife Wonder, if you want to do the whole purist thing, like
But from my understanding, he said it's not that he doesn't want to work with other people. He doesn't work well that way.
Sounds
like an excuse.
Sounds like egomaniac. So, but you know.
But anyway, back to my point though. Production, he got him. Pi'erre got him. That's for sure.
They're not even in the same league in that vein. But go ahead.
Sure, I agree.
Go ahead.
Right? Pi'erre
Some
right
J.
now.
Cole fans.
Pi'erre is number one to me right now in production for sure. Now, if I'm talking about lyrics and content, I got to go Cole on that.
I give you content. Lyrics, I give you that too.
I don't know, man. What J. Cole talking about is a little bit more dense. I understand how that probably doesn't translate as well with J. Cole when it comes to making a good song. I think that's where he struggles with, and that's where Pi'erre thrives. So,
but it works.
But then when you look at it holistically, and like, okay,
just
can Pi'erre make a better song than J. Cole?
Yes,
I agree.
Because we talk about music, like that's where I think the Cole fans and like these hip hop people kill me sometimes. Is like they just be like, and maybe I'm just a contrarian when I'm like, okay, Drake, J. Cole, Kendrick, I'm like, y'all killing me, bro. Like y'all just like it's to the point where like are so at this level where like they don't. There's no contest. There's no like questioning their ability. But like Cole, it's just like he really just like. I think it's the fans that really ruined it for me. Yeah. Like, it makes it to not want to listen to his music.
Did you listen to our podcast 4 episodes ago? You must, man.
The fans.
I wish we had you on like 4 episodes ago, man.
I think we said
was
that
preaching
on
this
here.
whole thing. Like, man, it just feels like Cole and his fans. It's really the fans that I'm tired of because
Middle Child. We wouldn't have that honest conversation about Middle Child.
Yeah.
That record is mid. So, like. But you know what? Let's
the same thing.
When it first came out, I was like,
But when everybody came, Middle Child, bro, love.
Yeah,
then the J. Cole fans like, look, he actually got some hype. No, I'm not playing it in the party. I'm not turning this into the pregame. Like, no.
Right.
Who? That's the thing that kills me about Cole is like I say this on record all the time. J. Cole is probably the greatest feature rapper ever of all time. He kills features from looking for trouble back in the day, the Good Friday era, to Baz's shit. You know, he kills it.
He killed
Lit.
So it's like you guys have he know like there's no point where that's why I say he's egomaniac because like he's self-aware. He's super introspective. So you have some sense, some self-awareness to be like, damn, you know what? I really be buying this shit and I be rapping on these other records, but it's like I ain't trying to get them to work on my stuff.
But it's hard to argue because every time he drop, he go 11 times platinum with no features. And be like,
the Cole fans,
because
that goes back to another conversation. That's a different conversation. Of like when you build your fans from the ground up,
right?
Yeah.
They rock with you,
right.
And that's why I tell people like it goes to this like not bring it on me, but it's like that's kind of why I tell people like with Lari and the stuff we do is like it's from the ground up. Like it's literally there's no gimmicks, there's no nothing. J. Cole, there's no gimmicks with him. Like it's just yo, I'm gonna fuck with my people who fuck with me, and we gonna roll. And it's happened that he is. I think what kind of gets the broad appeal is like there's a group of people who love that like just rap.
Yep.
And it's like he gives them that, and so even if he just like, and he got his little melodies sometimes, he got some cool songs. It's just not for me. I'm not gonna bang it. I mean, I listen to it, but you know, I'm not gonna be like, yo, that new Cole came out. Nah, I'm cool. I'm not rushing to the Cole. I mean, honestly, if we really keep it a bug, I'm going to like Lil Pump before I go to Cole. To be honest.
Oh God, he did it.
And even Pump album wasn't that good.
Nah, it wasn't that good. I just respect Pump for what he's done. Like to this point,
And I think it's probably because I'm younger, and I kind of like focus on what is the temperature at that time. And
You right at the line though between whatever we call the kids.
Oh, yeah,
But I'm like, we the same age, so I don't see.
Oh, yeah.
How old are you?
I just turned 25.
Okay.
But it's like I kind of like I pay attention. For me, I always kind of pay attention to what is actually happening and what is actually good.
Right.
So that way I can kind of gauge what is actually going to stand. And it's really hard to kind of process, but like I know how to kind of like make it happen. And that's kind of what I do with the parties. And like I try to capture what is actually going on and what's good. And that's kind of where that kind of happens. But I think Pi'erre Bourne, to kind of circle back, Pi'erre Bourne's tape is awesome. It's good summertime music. It really took the place for a lot of Dom Kennedy I was listening to. Yeah.
What about you?
I don't even want to get into Dom Kennedy at this point, man. Just go ahead, bro.
How many summers has it been?
I mean, like I said earlier, it was cool. It was a lot of good songs. I listened to it once. I think I need to go back and play it again. But I think what I was going to say earlier is I don't know if it really has anything to do with age. I think it just depends on the person, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true.
Because for me, like, I'm probably not going to be bumping this every day or all day. I know for a fact I'm not. But, like, it sounds good. I can give him that credit.
Yeah.
That it definitely sounds good.
And that's the beauty of music. Everybody has their thing.
And tell me what producer's doing that, like, right now.
Doing what?
Producing an album where he's giving all the lyrics, making the whole song, and producing his own album.
That's Tyler, Creator.
But that's primarily
but
a
Tyler,
producer,
but
though.
Tyler, yeah, right, exactly.
Gotcha.
That's what I'm saying. Primarily a producer. You know him as a producer. Who's doing that right now?
Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Can't name a person. And even like you said, like Crit is primarily a rapper.
I would have said Metro, but then that was just a bunch of like features.
Did he rap?
No.
Wow. Oh Lord.
Yeah, that's my
imagine
thing.
that.
He ain't dropping no lyrics on there. But my thing about Metro is I feel like his production at one point was just becoming awfully repetitive.
Yeah, but then the stuff he did with Big Sean, that was actually
That was a little
good.
different. That was a little different. I was glad to see that because it was just like I said, it was just getting to the point where I was thinking, is he remaking the same beat?
Oh yeah,
Like,
I mean that's what every producer does. If you really pay attention, like even Pharrell's done it, Kanye's done it. Like they'll have if you hear like back in the day, Pharrell had a couple songs where like the same. You had a Nori and a Britney Spears song had the same BPM, same drum patterns on it, and I'm just like, but it's like back then you making money off that shit because less work.
Keep putting it out, yeah.
So yeah, I mean when you're a hot producer like that, which Metro at the time was hot,
And I think it might be it may be one of those things to where you was in the studio one night and you heard a sound effect or you heard something and you made 8 beats off that same thing, and then maybe like a month later or you in there and it's something else, And I think that we might have been caught on that one night. For a while.
And he's probably sending out, a whole pack of beats to somebody, and they happen to choose specific beats, and the song
and every
comes
producer
out
goes through it. Honestly, so when you look at every producer that was like coming up, Tay Keith, he got that. He's starting to have that sound too.
Mike Will was doing it for
And
a while too.
Everybody has a time where like they hot and they gonna just when you hot, milk it because at this point because the thing is if in music, it's like when you hot. Being hot doesn't last long. It lasts for maybe a year and a half at most.
Gotta take advantage.
So
I was just gonna say that I feel like producers, what I've noticed is it's always a top one that you always hear about, and then they die down and then it's a new one. Because I remember London on the Track. I feel like had a big moment. Then that left, and then it was
Mustard.
Yeah, Mustard. Yeah. Metro, like everybody has their moment, and then you might hear about them later. I think Timbaland is one that. It's been more consistent, maybe.
I mean, he's kind of died. He's like
got quiet.
Because the thing is, Timbaland, he's like much like a Jay Dilla from that time where or Just Blaze where your stamp is already solidified, so you don't really have to do much because you already created records that changed our lives or changed the course of music. So. I think the older producers is not that. It doesn't have to worry about it. Like Mac Will, he's doing his own thing. Got his label with Ray Shrimmer. Then you got Mustard, got his own label with LMA. Then you got Metro. He's getting his stuff up on the track. He just got his label now. So it's like now producers starting to understand. They're getting I'm creating this stuff. I could just sign people, and that's a lot of producers are doing now. They're setting up their own shops with different bigger labels, and in a lot of ways it can kind of help with you kind of staying relevant because you can just get younger producers on a publishing deal or production deal, and then you just co-produce. It gets them high, but it also keeps your name alive. Right. I mean, Kanye's the king of that. Little people know.
Yeah, that's very true. I like also like when producers can all collab and it just comes out phenomenal because I think sometimes Sometimes like the styles can kind of mesh in a weird way.
Oh yeah.
But like a song that comes to mind is 3500, the Travis Scott.
Oh yeah.
Where it had, I believe it was obviously Travis was on there, Metro, what was his name? Was it Southside and then somebody else? And it's like, man, you just brought the holy trinity of Atlanta producers into one room and it just sounded phenomenal. So
Knox.
Yeah. Hopefully we can get some more of that at some point too. But Pi'erre Bourne, Life of Pi'erre 4. Definitely go check that out. And I knew we wanted to talk about the Nicki single because she was promoting it a lot.
Sounds like Nicki.
I was like, I feel like I heard this track before, but
I didn't think it was a bad song.
No, it's not bad.
No,
I thought she thought it was one of her better ones that she's came out with here recently. Is it going to make the rotation? Nah, but it was better than what she's been doing. I would say
she's at that point, or like Ross says. People say the same thing about Ross. He putting out the same flow, but it's like it works, you know. So, I mean, I think Nicki's at that place where it's like, you know, it's serviceable. You know, it feeds the fans. Yeah. So.
I feel like Ross understands though with his craft. He knows how to like tighten it up and like.
Oh, his pen is crazy. It's just his flow is. He has the same 2-3 flows.
Yeah,
but his pen it gets better and better.
Yeah,
it's like
the single, by the way, Nicki Minaj, Megatron.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the single.
I don't know. You said it works, but then I quit. Like, does it?
I mean, it's gonna work for somebody.
As much. You don't hear about it as much. I feel like as you did when she first came out at her first.
I mean, it's not gonna hit
like
you know, like Anaconda. Like that was like everybody. Yeah. Like the internet was. You know, we saw memes and like everything, and it was just a whole thing. But I just feel like, you know, Nicki's not as hot as she used to be, so we shouldn't expect that. You know what I mean?
And with a single, it's not, people don't realize it's like, you know, back in the day, videos used to be like to promote the single.
Right.
Nowadays, it's like, what is kind of what's going to carry on social media?
She dropped the video.
Yeah, she did.
But I mean, like, outside of directly, it has to be something that's not directly to the music.
Yeah.
Like, Tyler had his, like, he created this different persona, this different image.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, what is this?
Right.
We don't know what this is. So I already got you intrigued on whatever's to come. And then, of course, you fuck with Tyler, you like, this must be new music coming out.
Yeah.
I think Nicki Minaj is kind of relying on that old model when she came out, where it's like, all right, I put my shit on the blog, I put it out there, and, you know, my people that I, you know, fuck with me or I fuck with, they'll carry it. It's not the same thing. And especially when she's kind of like perception-wise, in a quarter of public perception, it's like her image isn't where Cardi is or even Meg is or even with the newer acts like Tara Whack or Rico Nasty. It's like she's kind of like the older head.
Yeah.
And so...
I just think her image is tainted, and I think that's partly...
Oh, yeah.
A lot has to do with what she's done.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's not as big as she was, or she's not as big as she was previously. It's because of...
When you look at Trina, like, she's welcome all the younger girls, you know? And I think that's kind of where Nicki Minaj kind of got into. And I think, so it's not no fault of her own. It's just like, when she came out, she was the only girl.
Yeah.
And she had to fight for her place, not only just be respected for her pen, but respected, like, I'm here. And so when you doing that for 10 years straight, 9, 10 years straight, and you the only one, I mean, of course you're going to feel like, damn, like you in this bubble where like you the only one. And if you see anybody, you may feel threatened. That's when Remy came home and that whole thing kind of happened. It's just like, you couldn't have to do that. You could just welcome, get on the song together, and y'all both could have.
Yeah, it's just, right now, it just feels weird with Nicki right now. It's just like,
oh yeah, I said the same thing to myself. I was like, it's like, I don't know where her place is now.
Right. And I think that might be what it is. It's like,
because she's not an old head.
It's like she's sitting there by herself almost. And it's almost like that. Like you had lunch.
Yeah.
And Nicki's at a table all by herself.
Yeah.
But we gotta respect what she's done.
Yeah.
You gotta respect the history that she's made.
She's a legend.
She is a legend in the game, but it's like, dang, man, like, I want to go over there, but your music ain't really hitting like.
But then a part of me is like, does she need to go back to her first album and what she did? But I don't want to push her back because you progress as an artist. But has she progressed? Because like you said, Gobi, this song sound like you heard it before. Like,
I mean, she kind of gapped out. I mean, she's kind of like,
and that could be a thing.
And
too,
even
like,
the last album she put out was good. Like, but internet tell it was just like, a joke. But it's just like, no, it had good records on there. It just, I think it's a time where to decline, and it's not that you're falling off. It's just that your time as the person, the guy or the woman, is coming to an end. Just like Drake, his time is coming to an end. I mean, a lot of the stars that we seen in those early 2010s, they're starting to kind of wane, and now the newer acts are starting to come up. So it's just it's a cycle. It's a cycle of life. People have their time.
I wish Nicki Minaj well.
Yeah.
Because this just time for her is just for me, it's just really weird. I just don't understand.
I think if she comes out, I don't think she has to do is just probably go back to her roots, look at what the pattern was, what worked and then see what can she do that's different and offer something different, because she's talented. She can sing, she can rap, you know, she's a good writer. It's just she has to kind of like maybe just kind of take a step back, take a break.
And I think I want to say that, but then I don't want to seem disrespectful, but I do agree. I think it's just maybe just needs to take like a year or two, like you see with like TDE, like they drop something and they be gone, and maybe, you know, for a while, and then I don't know, maybe she should just need to take some time. I don't know, because it's her art, she could do what she please, but it just doesn't seem like, it just seems like it's just weird. That's all. That's the only word I have. It's not the best word, but that's just the only word I got.
She just needs to find her pocket again, I think, because I think with these Cash Money acts, like, they always have like two like phases to their career. Like, you know, Drake, obviously, Lil Wayne, even Tyga. You see, like his little story is amazing to me. Like he was dead in the water there for a second. You know, rebranded. You know, got himself up, left Cash Money, all that. And now you see him. I mean, he's damn near on fire now. So
because he's a legend. Because people don't realize, like Tyga, when he first came out, he was dope. Like
he was.
He had dope mixtapes. Like the thing is, like it was until that point where the 2012, 2014, where everybody was like letting him, like, you know, he had corn juice on him, and it's just like, nah. I mean, you know, that's the thing too. Like when you get caught up in those like high profile relationships and stuff like that, it's never good for your career. Yeah. Because it's like, especially doing a Kardashian or someone in that family, like, it's not about you. Nobody look at you as your music no more. They look at you like, oh, who you dating? That's why I'm like, I hope Travis, you know, he's managed, but he's done. We'll see. I really hope he just kind of like keeps it separate.
I got to see the next project, because Astro, he's been working on that for a while.
Yeah.
He's been
so
working
I got to see the next project.
After Rodeo. Astro was supposed to be the second album, but he had a whole lot of songs left over, and he came out with Birds. Astro was originally supposed to be the second, so that just shows you how long he was working on Astro. To your point, so
and not for nothing, he got three. I would say classic, but I would say he got three really, really, really great albums, and not one is bad, and that's saying a lot.
So all three are good. So we're not counting Days Before Rodeo, or are you counting that?
I feel like it's more of a mixtape.
I thought it was more of a mixtape.
Because if that's the case, we had to count Al Farrell. Then we had to count Al Farrell in that discussion. But if you could talk about his whole body of work, I mean, his whole discography, like, he hasn't put out a bad project.
That's true. Definitely not. Definitely not. He's hit on all three for sure.
But yeah, I guess to circle back, Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
You know,
good
song.
Megatron.
Out Friday.
Yeah, check it out if you're interested in that. It's probably not gonna make my rotation. I'm not gonna lie. So,
there's something for the barbs.
Yeah. All right. We want to get into the XXL cover now.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
All right. So, XXL 2019 has freshly dropped. G is of the belief that XXL can do no wrong.
Oh my God.
They've never missed. They always get it right.
I'm of the mind. Let me clear up.
Okay.
Milking it. I'm of the mind that XXL freshman cover has not been wrong. They've done 11 covers since 2007. And I don't think they in the time frame in which they come out and what has happened within the year and maybe year and a half after it comes out, they have not gotten it wrong. And like we see, like within the last maybe 4 to 5 years, XXL has been getting a lot of pushback on, you know, who are these cats, or these cats aren't good, or this person should be like they've gotten it right. Like you look at even the most recognizable one was the one that had Uzi and Yachty, and they had their freestyle. Everybody was like, "Oh, this freestyle's trash." All those kids on there have amazing careers, making a lot of money. When we talk about just success in music, we have to measure it by that.
There's not one miss on there.
And there's not one miss on it. Maybe that's the one that had Designer. You may be able to say he had
a smash.
But he had a smash crazy hit.
And he had a couple, he had two other records that was just as fire.
And then you can't say Lil
Lil Dicky on there.
Lil Dicky is a miss because he's had two great singles.
What's that song with Chris Brown?
The Chris Brown song,
Freaky Friday.
Freaky Friday, which
Yeah.
is crazy.
Like, I can't really. There was one cover that I was like, I don't know who these.
2018,
guys are. And I think it was 2018.
because it has Ski Mask, Slump God, Lil Pump, Smoke Perp,
Trippie
J.I.D.,
Red.
Stefflon Don, Trippie Red, YBN Namer, Wiz Pharaoh, Black Boy JB, which I could say
That don't sound that bad though.
That might be the
ain't that
only
bad.
one that wasn't as good, but you still had Lil Pump,
Because Stefflon
Block
Don
Boy,
is dope.
amazing.
Stefflon, Trippie Red, J.I.D. on there.
Yeah, definitely.
So I can't really say that was a big miss.
I think that was one that people. I think that's a very internet based one because a lot of those cats are crazy on the internet. Like Ski Mask,
Right.
He got probably one of the best flows in hip hop right now. But I think that's the thing too. His content. He's one of the people. He got the craziest flows, but he really don't be talking about not a damn thing.
That's the problem.
And this comes from me. I listen to everything,
Yeah.
but he really don't be talking about nothing.
Right.
But the flow be like, but his flow be so crazy. It's like, damn, and the beat be so. He'll come at the beat in a different way. You're like, damn, I'm with you. Just like that little G Herbo running.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, I'm with you, bro. So he has some good stuff on there. I mean, I think this year's list. I mean, from Comethazine, he has good music, a lot of good singles.
Well, go ahead and just go over who's everybody's on there first.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it pulled up.
I got him up here.
I got it too.
Go ahead, Britt.
I might butcher these names. I'm gonna be honest towards the end, but Comethazine, The Baby, Meg Thee Stallion, Tierra Whack, Rico Nasty, Gunna, Blueface, YK, Osiris or Osiris.
Osiris.
Yeah, okay. Roddy Rich, Lil Mosey, and YBN Cordae.
So I don't see no problem with that list.
I don't
No,
either.
this one's
Yeah.
this one's
Everybody
good.
had either a good EP or good singles,
Right.
and not just one hit. They had
Now,
like
one
multiples.
of those kids is they did for the first time like a freshman DJ. So like if you look at the cover itself, the light skinned kid all the way on the left is the DJ. So I have never heard of his work or anything like that.
I think it's Lil Mosey.
that that might be the
Is that a DJ?
yeah.
I-
So but other than that, like the rappers on here had great careers before the cover, and they will have great ones after, I think.
Okay, so here's my beef with XXL. So this is from XXL. This is what they think of when they're putting together the list. Mm-hmm. We're trying to predict what artist is going to pop in the future.
Yeah.
That's their criteria. Mm-hmm. Now, if I look at the list, all of these artists have already popped. That's my problem.
Yep.
There's nothing groundbreaking here. We know most of these artists. Now, it might be one or two, that we haven't listened to, and we'll probably go back. Mm-hmm. But you guys aren't breaking artists. Like, it's just, you're just recognizing artists. Mm-hmm. If that's what they were saying they were doing, I'd be perfectly fine. Mm-hmm. But if you're saying you're breaking artists, break artists. Mm-hmm. So that's why you always see, like, some of these artists, they'll be on the XXL cover 2 years after they pop, like Gunna. Mm-hmm. I'm like, why wasn't he on the last one with Lil Baby? Why is he on this one?
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Even Rico Nasty, she was popping before this. Like, she should have been on it back in, like, I believe it was 2016 when she actually got her start.
Now, on this cover,
Based
though,
on that logic.
Yeah.
to this cover though, I only think like pop, like really, really pop. There's only 3 artists on there that really, really pop.
Who's that?
Maybe 4, and that would be Gunna, Meg, and DaBaby. And you can maybe say Blueface.
I would say Blueface.
I'll say Blue
Yeah.
before anybody.
Right, and those would be the only 4 that's really popped. Like they have really popped. You see what I'm saying?
I would say, well, YBN Cordae, at least, I guess it's subjective, but to me, he's popped.
Yeah,
Like,
he's out there. He's respected as a rapper amongst like the powers that be.
Right.
Yeah, he's like bridging the gap. That's why I
Especially
really fuck with him.
amongst the crew that he's affiliated with.
He's by far the best in that group.
And it's weird because we were listening to his music earlier, his personal music and then his features sound totally different.
He sound like two completely different
That's
people.
why I fuck with him. He can do he's good within the young people, but then also he can, if he needs to drop bars, he can do that as well. So
and I appreciate
I
that.
fuck with
I thought
it.
this cover was interesting because this is the first time since 2015 that there have been more than one woman on the cover, and the first time ever that it's been 3. So shout out to Meg, Tierra, and Rico. I think that's
dope.
a testament to who they are. To your point earlier, was Lil Baby even? I mean, yeah, was Lil Baby on the cover?
No, he never was on the cover.
I thought he was on there last year.
Because he, from
turned
my
down the list.
understanding, he turned it down.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
A lot of artists turned it down for Tory Lanez.
But he could have been on there with A Boogie.
Nicki, Drake.
And that was 2017. And that had XXX, PNB Rock, A Boogie, Kamaya, like Kyle was on there, Made in Tokyo. That would have been a good time for him, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But he turned it down. So
Well, last year, I think Lil Baby would have been.
even last year would have been cool too.
Because he had, last 2018, he came out with like 3 projects.
He was on fire. He was on fire. And then even like last year, how was Tekashi not on there? Like I understand that we got like he's got the
And
there's a lot of controversy there, but at the end of the day, there was a point in time he was the hottest rapper in the game.
Musically, like if you take all the nonsense aside, shenanigans aside, he had really great music. And the album, I actually got to listen to it before they took it down.
They took his stuff down?
Well, at least I had put on something and it just
He
not
ain't
there.
come up?
Gone now?
But he had some crazy records on there. His song TikTok Little Baby, nuts. Tory Lanez, nuts.
Yeah,
like
one.
it just like it made me feel bad because I'm like, dang, you really not a good person. But it's just, but like your music is like this album was. I could tell they was building up for this album to be like this one, and that could have been some nuts shit because it wasn't a bad song on there, to be honest. But you know, you gotta be a good person these days, and I think you gotta be a person forever. But like now more than ever, you can't be on no bullshit. So, but yeah, I think with the list, with 3 women on there, and rightfully so. You know, I think now more than ever, women are kind of coming up and across not just hip hop but R&B too. Like they, you know, Ari Lennox and Summer Walker, Kiana Lady. They're really establishing like, women are here. And you're here to stay.
And I think the next push is the women DJ and the women producer.
Oh yeah,
right.
We're starting to see that a little bit more, like with Lil CC that did Drake's single.
Yep. And Wonder Girl from way back in the day when she produced. If you're reading this, it's too late. With the company with Travis Scott.
The name escapes me.
Yeah, Wonder Girl. She's kind of one of the pioneers. I would say from this decade, in this era, she's kind of one of the more leading producers that don't get talked about enough for what she's done. But I'm glad to see like people recognizing like, women they make good shit. And I think and I told people like, yesterday, I talked about like, and I hate to bring it back here, but it's relevant to the city or whatever. But with Lari, it's like we are probably the only party, let alone the only kind of fixture institution that is making room for women that spin. And DJ.
That's true. That's
show
true.
people that women like they're good. Like I told Bria and I told Monty yesterday, just like
they killed it.
Like y'all killed it. You know what I mean? I told them before that I'm like, y'all understand like the difference between me and everybody else when I come to putting these things together. It's like it's about the talent.
Yeah.
I don't care. Yeah, you're a woman. You just happen to be a woman, but you're good.
Right.
Like send me a mix and it was fire. And they're like, well, I'm nervous. I'm like, no, they're gonna. If I like it, they're gonna love it. So it's just like, and I think that's something I hope that other people look at what we're doing because everybody copies and try to look what we're doing. Come to us, a whole other conversation. But I hope the city looks at what we're doing and see like, I can get this other DJ. I can get this woman who not because she's a woman, but because she's dope.
Yeah,
like she's really, really good. She knows how to blend, she knows how to mix, she knows how to pick songs, and hopefully with the cover and all this stuff. In general, with music and hip hop in general, as it kind of like unfolds, people recognize women as their talent, and I recognize them just as good as anybody else. Because I would hope one day we get, maybe a Tierra Whack be in that conversation where they have the top 3, where they have like Cole, Kendricks, and Drakes, where they have women in that conversation like on that level. Because
there should be because Rhapsody should be.
Oh man, Rhapsody should be in that conversation. But because she's a woman, I think that's kind of where people don't really give her that appeal. But then someone could say Nicki Minaj.
Like she's the best women rapper. I'm like.
Okay.
I mean, why
let's not do that?
Yeah, like why
she's
can't
a rapper. She just happens to be a woman.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. So.
But I think my favorites on there, Rico Nasty. I feel like she's changing sound. I think kind of in the same vein of Lil.
Rico's dope. I don't care.
Like Lil Nas X, she's in that vein.
She's good, and I just haven't been able to figure out how to digest it yet.
Oh man, it's energy, bro.
I just got to figure out how to digest it. But I see her talent. I can recognize
energy. Her project she just came out with Kenny Beats.
That was good.
I think it really showed her to be more introspective. It's not just the energy thing.
She was really personal on there.
Yeah,
she
was. But I think what Rico Nasty does she really well is like she can rap, but also her energy, how she approaches a record. Even with her collaboration with Doja Cat when she came on that, it's just like her flow. It's just like you have to respect it, and I think that's what I think with it goes to show. I think the time that we're in now with hip hop and it shows in the list is like. Women, it's the talent now. It's about the talent. Right? It's not about all the extra, do you look good or, the sex appeal. It's like, no, they're dope. They make good music. And that's what it always should be about forever, regardless of what your thing is. So.
Yeah. I'm definitely glad that it looks like we're starting to get out of that. I mean, we're definitely not fully out of, where we're just picking the lady that, looks great. And, She has a great image, and the music has to get we have to get a writer to write it for her, and then show her how to do it and whatnot. So that's awesome.
I thought it was crazy that the list started in 2007, and the first woman on the cover was 2012. That was crazy to me.
Was it Iggy Azalea?
Yeah, Iggy. But I'm like, I don't know if that's a testament to.
Well, she had a good record though. It was fine.
She had.
I'm not knocking, but it's just funny.
Yeah, that's just
But I like the YK Osiris. He has some good songs.
He doesn't have a full length project yet.
But he has some good songs. Good. And then Roddy Ricch, he's amazing. Lil Mozzie, he's really good. He has a good flow. And coming out of Seattle, which is kind of different. So
Iggy was the first woman in 2012.
Yeah.
Wow.
Says a lot. Well, Nicki Minaj turned it down, so that explains that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there were a couple people that turned it down.
There was a big list of powerhouses that turned it down.
Yeah, Tyler Creator, A$AP Rocky,
Tory Lanez,
Bryson,
Party Next Door,
Alan McConan,
Drake did too.
Post Malone, Wish the Kid, Lil Skies, Nav.
Imagine that cover. We've all seen that famous cover with Kendrick and Cole and all them on there, right?
Oh yeah.
Imagine if Drake and them would have accepted it and all that. That cover.
Because Drake would have been on that 2010. Because it would have been with J.
Drake would have been on there with
Pill,
Cole, Nipsey,
Freddie.
Was Wale on there?
Yeah.
Oh, Wale was on 09.
Wale was on 09.
And 09, that
one is
the 2009 list reminds me a lot of the
High school
2018 list, where back then it was like the blogger. That 2009 list is a very blog influence because you had Mickey Facts. Crazy. Currency, of course, you already know how Currency does. Kid Cudi, who is...
He like God status.
Yeah, bro. Asher Roth, who a lot of people sleep on from that time because
he had his time.
But he had not just the Olive College single, but like his mixtape with Don Cannon, like oh my gosh, the Greenhouse Effect was amazing. Charles Hamilton... But during that time, he was on another. He was.
I don't even know if I know.
He was another time. B.O.B. Which I was surprised that he took a long time to crack.
We got to give B.O.B. his credit though. Yeah. I feel like he was trying to knock down the genre walls.
Oh yeah, early,
and
that's what that 2009 list. That's what I feel like they were the ones to kind of pioneer the breaking down the genre, because you had Kid Cudi who was doing rock and all this influence stuff. Wale, doing a lot of go-go stuff, going for go-go. You had Asher Roth, which is a little bit different. Yeah, Mickey Facts had a lot of jazz influences on his stuff. Ace Hood,
Ace Hood, Ace Hood has an underrated career as well.
Man, Blame Khaled.
Mixtapes, yeah.
Blame Khaled.
I'm looking at 2010 right now, man. This is a star-studded cast.
And DaBaby, he
that list is crazy.
He was on here. I thought it would have been kind of early because he kind of shot up out of nowhere. Yeah. But he had some good. The project was good. Tierra Whack. I feel like I don't think Tierra Whack gets enough fluff for what she did because she's doing this off an album with 15 songs that's 15-minute runtime. It's a minute of song. So, and their songs are fire. Every song is fire.
Wait, no, hold on. Now I've never heard her project, but I've heard her like
one of the
I've
best
heard her
albums.
rap, but I haven't heard her actual music.
One of the best albums.
15-minute run song.
Yes.
Wait,
Run
that
song?
song that she has a video for, and she's like peeling potatoes, or it's like the whole
so this is
video.
the thing. It's a one video where she goes through all the songs, and it's a different set for each song. That's what I'm saying. Like what she's done,
might be the one.
She is
Not with the potatoes. That was one song I felt like, and it was longer than a minute.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to do some more.
So,
Yeah, I don't know.
But I know she can rap. I know she's a really
for
dope
sure.
rapper because I've seen that video.
Whack World last year in May. She had a couple singles this year. Unemployed. We had what else? We had Wasteland this year. Then you had Gloria and Clones that she put out this year, like Lucy's. But yeah, Whack World, the album that she had, her debut album, I would say, or maybe a mixtape, how she classifies it. But it was 15 songs, had videos to go with each song. Some of the standouts were Hungry Hippo, which is amazing. Flea Market, amazing. It really shows the range of what she can do as far as rapping, singing, and just visually. You know, she got nominated for the Grammy for her work with the video. So good for her. Looking forward to seeing what she does.
But to go by your point, it is in the air to see what these guys can do next after the cover. Like if it is the intent to show, you know, who's going to quote unquote pop, to see them take another step is definitely something.
And I think that's what it may be, to your point, with the definition of pop. What does that actually mean? Because to them, they may think, okay, we see you on the internet, but are you going to pop as far as mainstream? Now, to that point, the list kind of satisfies that. But if you think about, if you like a person who is like always trying to find a new thing, this is probably not to what you're liking. Or maybe it just confirms what you already been on, which I think that's kind of where the divide is. And you got XL is like a national publication. So they're kind of like the voice for that person who's walking past a newsstand every day, like, oh, okay, this is the new artist to look into. Let me glance through it. I'll put it down, or I'm gonna buy it. So that's kind of where their mindset is from that.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I can concede to that. I'm looking at the 2013 cover, and that's looking Chief Keef, Travis Scott, Schoolboy Q, Trinidad James, Joey Badass, Absol, Logic, Action Bronson, Kurt Cobain, Dizzy Wright, and Angel Hayes.
They asked if that was the best one ever. I think it's between that one and 2010.
It has a picture of Chief Keef as the 11th freshman.
Yeah, because he got locked up as soon as he came. Like,
oh my god!
I think after like the Love Sosa thing came, he got snatched up, so he wasn't able to show.
Shout out to them for even just like, we just gonna
put him in there.
Because the thing is, he's during that time, 2013, he was the biggest artist of all the people that was listed. Like, he was the biggest. He had the biggest records. He had coming off Don't Like.
Yeah,
and then he had Love Sosa following that. Then he had the remix on that. And so it's like, and then he had the project. Then he had the Finally Famous, which was like a culmination of all his mixtape joints that got cleared.
Great project.
And it was amazing. So,
are there any quote unquote misses on the cover that you were like, dang, like I thought that was gonna pop?
On this one or old one?
Like even in like old ones.
Oh.
Because like one of my favorites like way back then in 2012 was Don Tripp. I thought he was gonna take like a step. Like, okay, but
that is true.
But his music is not really for the mainstream. He still makes music, and he, like we were saying earlier, he makes music for his core fans. He still does well. But I thought his music was gonna take a step. Are there any like that for you?
I mean, this dude took a step, but it just seemed like it kind of died out. I was on 2014 August Alsina. I thought he was gonna be like, up there with the Chris Browns and the Trey Songz, and like maybe not Chris Brown, but Trey Songz and them like that. That's a tall task, Chris Brown. So.
Yeah, I would say Vic Mensa 2014. Like, and the thing is, Vic Mensa, he has had a good career. I just think that as talented as he is, he doesn't get enough credit. I remember tweeting earlier this week, he's like Drake's musical tether, because I feel like he's kind of like their music are like the same. The content is the same. The sound is the same. The approach is the same. It's just that I feel like Drake is like an idea. And so it kind of drowns out anything that's remotely even like him or in that vein or even different than him. But that's like similar. But I think Vic Mensa, he isn't as big. I feel like he's a lot better than Chance the Rapper. But, you know, Chance the Rapper, maybe
he's a better rapper than Chance.
I would say he makes even better music. But I think Chance has a better team. And I think that's something I think when you look at your artists that don't crack or have troubles just kind of being where you think they should be, I kind of deducted that it's usually like a back end thing where they have a good management or a good team around them for the day to day, because that's half the battle with this music stuff.
Yeah, it is.
It's having people who on the back end to kind of help move things and kind of protect you from yourself. And so you see people like K-Camp, you know, he used to be a lot bigger, but he had, you know, got tied up into, you know, a bad deal, which is a common thing, you know. Which I think now, hopefully more artists, I think the internet artists that are coming up today, they understand, they see the mistakes that everyone else went through. And someone like Wale, you know what I mean? I think he is top 3. I think he's in that conversation of even top 4 if you want to put him in. He's definitely top 5. But he doesn't get that. It's almost like you had the top 3 with Kendrick, Cole, Drake, and then it's like whoever's the 4th, 5th slot is kind of interchangeable. But I'm like, he's in that top 5. But I think he doesn't get the same push and love because the management, the team, he always had to switch management or had to switch labels.
He switched management and representation a lot.
And it's like it can kind of help, it kind of hinder you because when you kind of in it for the long haul, it's having that consistent day-to-day relationships. Even their team has relationships with people that can maintain it for you, even if you're not the most, you know, hard, easy to work with. You got a team that can at least keep those relationships alive and kind of bail you out. So, you know, it's just the nature of the beast. I think Wale, for nothing, Wale's had a great career. I mean, he had great singles. He makes great music to this day. One of the best rappers of all time. But I think outside of Vic Mensa, I would say that I thought was going to really kind of take off would be from 2017. I would thought Amine would be a lot bigger.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Just because I feel like his music I feel like it can appeal to a lot of different people.
It's music.
Yeah.
He's one of those, I don't know if he's a rapper or singer.
He's really,
or
really
melody.
artistic.
Yeah, I think
dope.
he's one of those.
Yeah, he is.
But other than that, I mean, I think he's doing really fine.
I think I got another one. Rory, I thought was going to be
a
lot bigger.
That opens a conversation.
No, that was 2015.
I think Rory was purely hype because I think he kind of caught the way, like, that Kanye West co-signed. When Kanye West co-signed him, it was like, you know, like any time Kanye West co-signed, people run to it. Same with Azealia when he co-signed her. And then you don't deliver. And then it's like, it's good. That's the thing I think during this time period is like people realize the cosign don't really mean much. It's like, yes, my cosign.
Still got to put in work.
Yeah, you just got to deliver. And so, you know, I think Rory, it was kind of like, yeah, I mean, he had some cool thing here and there, but like nothing stuck. So
I think that's the thing.
I feel the same with 2011 with Diggy Simmons. Like, he was on the cover. I don't know if I expected him to pop.
I didn't expect him to be on the list.
But I think it was just, it could have been a miss. But I feel like in the beginning, he had some really good tracks or whatever.
Copy paste.
But it never went anywhere. And I know in 2018 or 17, he dropped another project. And you didn't hear anything about it.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's like, it's kind of the thing where it's like he's on TV now. Like he's cool. I mean, he ain't hurting. He never been hurting. I mean, I think he tried. I mean, he had some good songs. That Copy Paste song was fire. I mean, little people know.
Yeah, I like that song.
Yeah, he had a song with Trevor Jackson too. That was dope. I forgot the name of it.
Oh, they just came out recently.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, the XL list. I mean, it's always going to be a conversation. I mean, I think that's the only thing that's keeping XXL like culturally relevant at this point.
I think the magazine print publication is kind of dying.
Yeah, all magazine is dying.
So
you know?
so this is keeping them afloat. This is keeping them quote unquote relevant for when they drop.
Yeah, because on the internet, Twitter, and social media, like, we there. That's where our attention is. Right. So it's like, okay, we're gonna get this conversation going on the internet, so we're gonna keep it alive. Same with a lot of publishers moving to that digital thing, and you know, they realize like. And that's the thing people don't realize too, is like where the attention goes, the money goes. So they're gonna do whatever is gonna get the attention and, you know, gravitate to it. So I mean, nonetheless, it was a good list. I thought it was a great list.
This year is pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see.
I can't wait for the Cypher to hear that.
Oh yeah. And we'll see what happens next year, who's gonna be on there. Because at this point I have no idea who will be on the next list, which would be cool. because it's like you don't have any idea. I think I had an idea of like Megan be on there last summer, but we'll see.
The cipher.
You don't like the ciphers?
It's just who's the ones that's rapping, because like we talked about the Uzi and 21 like cover, like their cipher. The cipher is not made for them. Nope. They're not cipher rappers. They're not freestyle rappers.
Right. They just did
what they did, and people didn't appreciate for that.
But then when they listen to the music, they're like, oh.
Yeah.
So how could they expand that for other artists then? Do you think?
I'm not sure.
I think they should.
Like when Brittany said it, like the cipher, I'm excited for the cipher. And then I had to think like, ooh, who's on it? Is it the cipher going to work for these people in that way?
I think what they should do is like whatever, like for this year or maybe the next year in the coming months, is like wherever record, say you got like a couple artists. Say, for example, they have 3 at a time, right? Say you got Comethazine, Tarawak, and let's say Blueface, right? We know Tarawak can rap. Comethazine, he could probably rap. Blueface, he raps. I think they should have almost like each person kind of pick whose song they're gonna rap over. Like whoever's that big record. So say, for example, you have Blueface with Tatiana. Like have Tarawak rap on Tatiana for her freestyle.
Fire.
And then have Blueface rap on Comethazine shit, or have Comethazine rap on Tarawak's like Hungry Hippo, and like see, because that way it'll like, damn, okay, it's cooler because it's like, damn, okay, you can really freestyle on my shit, and now you can have that person hype you up because you rapping on my shit.
Right.
So it's like a little bit cooler that way. So I mean, I think that's something they can try to look into, is like that, because I love to see, like, say for example, they had like Megan and the Baby. No, let's say Rico Nasty and the Baby and Roddy Rich, and have like the Baby on Every Season beat, and then have Rico on the Suge beat. Yeah. I think that was her out of her pocket. So it just be like those kind of combinations. I feel like they should kind of look into that as far as moving forward. That way it kind of gives, in that isolated, contained space, one, it creates kind of camaraderie amongst the artists that may not even like each other or maybe respect what they do, but then they can respect it because they're like, yo, okay, let's see what you do on my record. And then I want to see what you do on his record. Okay. Yeah. Now you leave that room like, you know what? I may not be into your music, but I can at least respect that you kind of like did your thing on my shit.
And I think like with that cover that we always talk about, what year was that? Was that 16? That wasn't.
Which one?
That was 16. That was 16. That had Uzi and them on it, right? Mm-hmm. You know, we talk about publicity, right? There's no such thing as bad publicity, quote unquote. I don't know if I believe that or not.
Yeah,
but
it's a stretch. But
right, it's a stretch.
That's Trump.
So then when they did their cipher, I'm glad it didn't hinder. It wasn't like something that hurt them.
And it wasn't. Yeah. It wasn't, because they all had that core fans. Like, and you had 21 Savage, you had his fans, Lil Uzi got his fans. So it just mattered of just like you kind of entering their world, really, if anything.
That's exactly what it was. Like, forget the cipher. Like, you're gonna listen to what I'm producing, and you're gonna like it. You're gonna like it or not.
Yep.
So
and that's hip hop as it is.
So
you gonna like the music or not?
The cipher is one of those things that I think this year will be fine though. I think everybody like lyrically could hold their weight in a cipher setting. I think it'll be okay.
Yeah, this year.
Right.
This year, but
other years it's been like you got to figure out something else because the cipher is not for these guys, and that's okay.
I mean, the cipher's a little it's archaic a little bit, you know.
Yeah,
it's
because we want to still keep it hip hop, you know. Cipher, let's go, lunch table.
What do they say? It keeps the integrity, quote unquote, of hip hop. I'm like, that's dumb.
Bro, hip hop has to evolve.
Yeah, and I'm one of those people too. Like I do thoroughly enjoy a cipher, a freestyle. That's one of my favorite things about hip hop. But I do appreciate, and I know like certain rappers, that's not what they do, and that's fine. I'm appreciate and like what you do. Like Uzi is one of my favorites, and he's not a cipher rapper. He's not a freestyle. When he goes on his interviews, like I'm not freestyling. That's not what I do.
But he can rap.
But he can rap, and when he makes music, it sounds really freaking good. Like
Free Uzi, best rap song of 2019. Just gonna say that lyrically, better than Middle Child. Lyrically,
okay, all right. Middle Child.
We gonna bring up the rap genius, and we can go.
I can't roll with best. I can't roll with best song, but
because I still think the Gold Link and Pusha T record that's my favorite.
Yeah,
that's because lyrically Pusha bodied that.
Yeah, that's something I had to sit down and think about. I don't want to give just blurt out something. But if I
pick
was
a
to say, I do
song of
like
the year is so
well, not song of the year. I'm saying
hard.
best rap song. Like you purely just rap.
That's hard.
Cause Lucy, he
rapped on that record.
He rapped.
That is hard.
And the detractors will say, well, he can't rap. I'm like, all right, look at this. Name me a song from your favorite artist that rap better than him on this. I'll wait. Cause Middle Child? Oh, okay. There's a lot of fluff on that. A lot of filler bars, but that Cole, he lyrical miracle. Okay.
Lyrical miracle.
Spiritual.
But yeah, I think the list was good, man. Hopefully next year we'll see what's gonna come from this.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and get into the Renaissance, and then we'll go ahead and get out of here. Earlier, you were speaking to the importance of how Indianapolis, creatives need to support each other. Not only just creatives, even common folk that just want to see the city prosper. You should be supporting the different brands that are in Indy, and not only just clothing and music, and even local food restaurants and shit like that, just to build up that build up Indianapolis as a whole. So. I don't know if you want to speak to that more, but I know you spoke to that in your piece that you wrote. But I just think that's so important, and that part kind of gets glazed over. When people probably ask you, how is Lari Pati gaining all this steam? They probably don't see the back work. You showing up to everybody's events, and
he do pull up to everything,
man. Yeah, you don't understand. Like I'll be running around, people be like, "Yo, you all right?" I'm like, "I'm tired, man." Like I'm from running to one event to another to trying to plan things, trying to put together things, and people reaching out to include me on what they want to do or partner up or whatever. I'm just like, AD was like, yo, man, you are the world's hardest working person I know. I'm like, it feels like it. It feels like, because I'm trying to do my best to help and lead by example, and that it's not easy, because it's constantly trying to give energy. Like
people are constantly watching as well.
Yeah, people watching, and I'm not too worried about people watching. It's more so I try to make sure that the people that I talk to and they want my help on it, I can help them some way, somehow, in the best way I can. I had to turn a lot of things down, just because it's a point where I had to be real with myself. Yo, as much as I want to help you, I don't want to put something together for you and it be half-assed, or it be something that you feel like, damn, it don't really pop like you thought Lari was gonna pop, or this and that. And I have to tell people all the time, it's people look at Lari as oh, you did this, so it's Lari. No, it's not Lari, it's me. I put it together. So they get so caught up in let's make a Lari and X thing. I'm like, no, let's just me help you and work with you on it. Yeah. Because I came with the idea, and that's why it was so important for me to kind of come up with other concepts, because you can easily get pigeonholed and put into a box of what people think you do, and that's all you do. And I'm like, no, I do other stuff. That's why I did the Beat Me thing. I was like, okay, y'all think it's a one-trick thing? I'm like, no. We did this innovative concept where we have you get to vote on the artist that you want to hear throughout the night. And, we had good turnouts for it, but I think personally, we kind of still trying to figure out how to kind of deliver it. And I think we did it with the block. We did blocks last month. So we did a block of P&D, did a block of Future, did a block of Drake, did a block of Calvin Harris, and a lot of people was like, yo, it's I see what you're trying to do, but it was kind of overwhelming because it's 30 minutes of just that artist. And depending on top of the night, it's damn, I'm trying to get, I already had 4 or 5 drinks, I'm trying to get hot. So it was okay, cool. And knowing me and knowing how we do it, it's never no ego thing. So there's no problem. That's why I'm so open telling people yo, tell us what we need to do better. So just go around, coming Friday, we're gonna mix it all in. We're gonna mix it all in.
I was
that
just
way,
ask that.
That way everybody can. That way, even talking to the DJs, Vic and AD, they was like, yeah, usually play a song, a hook, verse and hook. So I'm like, okay, well, it's easy just to mix it in. That way we can kind of read the crowd, because that's what our parts of what we do best. We read the crowd, we listen to the people, and we just kind of take it from there. And just take it higher, or bring it back, or we can do it. And I think it's mix it in, having that kind of format will allow them to kind of do their thing and let their creativity.
I know
show.
Flying Lotus won, right?
Wait,
so we got
real quick. Let's explain to the people that don't know what Beat Me is.
So Beat Me is an interactive dance party where each month you get to vote amongst 4 artists amongst 4 genres. So one month will be the genres are pop, hip hop, soul, and electronic. So that way you get a blend of everything. But the thing is, you have a favorite artist amongst that. You get to vote on them and push it. So this month we're gonna be doing. So Chris Brown won for the pop, Young Thug won for the hip hop, the Dream one for the soul, and then Flying Lows one for electronic. So it's gonna be a cool night. And of course, it's still we're gonna still keep it like what you know from Lari. It's still gonna be that same energy of, it's a good time, but it's just going to be a lot of those artists mixed in because you wanted this. And so it kind of puts the power in the people's hands to say, hey, this is what I wanted. And we only did that from the surveys and be like, yo, we'll have requests for Lari, but yo, send the songs in. And it's like you see the common same names. It's like, well, damn, let's kind of create a concept where it's like people can hear that discography if they love their artist that much. And so that's kind of where that spawned from. And so, it's just something different, especially in Broward, where, only two options, whereas Brothers and Kilroy's is like, ain't much you can do. So, like, come to Casville that, for Friday and, hear something new. And also, it's hot in there, so, you can dance, get drinks, and have a good time. So, it's something else to do in a different area as opposed to going downtown or, Fountain Square that you're maybe used to, kind of Broward. Yeah. So.
I think it's dope how y'all really take the feedback serious as well. I don't think a lot of, parties and stuff here, they, even just regular events, they don't reach out for the feedback as much as y'all do, and y'all really implement it. So I think that might be a main thing of why you guys are getting so big and the traction so real. Is just y'all really listening to what people are saying.
And I think that when we to bring it back to the Renaissance, that's important. Like
that's everything,
and that's that criticism, the constructive criticism, tips, I like this, I don't like this, maybe try this. That's part of collaborating. That's part of inserting and appreciating and supporting each other. And I think that's one of the things that gets overlooked because with art, it's personal.
Yep. Right. Super subjective.
It is hard to get that. And I find that within myself too. Like when people tell me, this, that, or that, or change this, or I want you to do this instead of that. It hits hard. Yeah. You're like, dang, like I when I put this out, I liked it for what it was. Yeah. But it also is important because when we get that, it helps us grow. So,
I think with anything, it's about pleasing the people. And you have to find that balance between your ego and taking other people's advice, because 9 chances out of 10 they see something that you don't see. It's your baby, so you can protect it and be like, well, I wanted it, but listen to the other person because they may have a different perspective.
And that's where the Renaissance, that's why I wrote the article. Because for me, if it was up to me, everybody will have this Cardi Uzi all damn day, all damn night. But it's one of those things that's like, it's not about me. It's a party for people. It's to serve someone else. And I can still be creative. I can still create the lineups, create the marketing and the designs and all that stuff like that. But it's about the people and how what your creativity and your work, how it responds and resonates with the people. So that's why I wrote about, the question I proposed in the article was, will Indianapolis creative community ever be more than, a selling point for developers in these maybe opportunity zones or these impoverished neighborhoods, and or a class for the rich and the well off to donate their money to, because I feel like that's limiting. We've seen what's happened with that for so long, and I believe in that. It's about local investment, not philanthropy. I believe it's about also supporting the community and understanding, serving each other, because you'll grow that much faster. Right. And I propose like the 3 steps, which I've been preaching since I started Lari. It was like, spread the word, pay for tickets, give feedback, repeat it over and over and over till I'm blue in the face. People ask me how I do it. It's the same thing. Over and over and over and over and over again. Yep. And that's why I wrote in the article, because it's like, I've done it. Everything I wrote in the article, I've done. And it's really started from, I'll talk about the 3 topics of the power. Like, you have the only way we can even turn our community, our creative community in Indianapolis, into a respected industry that is like a tech industry or the sports industry or, the pharma, the medical industry here that's so prevalent, is if you understand the power within your own creativity, which then will allow you to see the power and the creativity of others. So it's like that same thing, that whole saying of like, the people who don't believe in anything or believe in or hate on people is because they don't believe in themselves.
And it's like, I'm so quick to support people because I believe wholeheartedly in myself. I know what I'm doing, what I'm cooking up is going to work regardless. So it's no thing where somebody, yo, can you post this for me? Or can you retweet this? Can you come out here? I'm like, hey, no problem. Only if I can't make it, I'll throw it up, post it up, or retweet it, or get the word out there if I can't make it. Because I feel like that's the least I can do.
And it's appreciated too. I know for myself personally, like even with the podcast, like we notice when people retweet or screenshot on their story or whatever, like that stuff shows, and it really hits home. Like like I tell people, I say thank you for your post, or I really appreciate that. Like that's not just routine that you just say thank you. Like I really genuinely in my heart appreciate the shit out of you for doing that, because you don't have to do it. And like, just like when you see people that do it, we see people that don't.
Oh, bro. Right. And they be the same people that complain like, man, any episode support nobody here. Right. Well, what are you doing to support people? Right. Like I tweeted about yesterday. I'm like, literally, people was like, I'll search the hashtag or whatever, Lari, whatever, and I'm like, yo, thank you for coming out. Thank you for coming out. I'll do it for each individual person, because it's like, you literally didn't have to come here. Like, be honest, like you could have been at home. You could have went downtown. You could have went barberable. You could have did whatever you wanted to do. The fact that you was like, damn, let me come out here, let me spend money, or even if you got it for free, I just wanted to show
at work all day.
Yeah,
it's the same. Like even like with the pod, like you took an hour and a half out of your day from like stopping and listening to whatever you was listening to before
to listen to this,
like to listen to us talk about music, which we love. And like when we get people that come to us and be like, like, I really like y'all podcast. Y'all bring a different perspective, or man, you put me on that album. I ain't even know about dude, or like that stuff hits home, and that's what keeps us going. That's
my favorite thing when somebody will be like, hey, I didn't even know about this album. I listened to it after hearing y'all talk about it, and man, this shit is phenomenal. Like that Toby. I know a lot of people didn't
responded to the
catch
Toby.
that when it first dropped. We talked about it, and boom. A lot of people fucked with it. So that's the best feeling.
That's the culture that I guess I'm really with the article is kind of like both a manifesto, but also a guide, but also like me kind of like put my flag in the ground and saying like, okay, I want to just create this culture. I want to architect this culture of this. And how do you create a culture, an environment? Is you set codes, you set rules, you set value system. And that's what I talk about, the power of creativity, the power of innovation, the power of making a living. That's like the basic things. You have to recognize the power of creativity before you can get to the other two. The power of your creativity is like, okay, I know I have ideas, I know I have an imagination, and I have a different way of thinking about this mundane thing. Because like podcasting, nowadays everybody has a podcast, but it's like the creativity that you bring to it is what makes it different.
Right.
And then from there, you can think, okay, let's move to the power of innovation. Okay, how can we innovate? How can we do something different with our creativity? When innovation takes understanding what's already out there, what you wanted to do, and how can you marry that? So then that way you can deliver something different that the people can enjoy and feel like, damn, this is different. Even though they listen to a podcast, which everybody has a podcast, but they know that your thing is different. And then from there, once you have that innovation, consistently doing that month after month, or how frequent you do it, it's like now you can think about, okay, what are opportunities to make a living from these things? So it's a step by step thing. The thing is kind of like left up to the people when it came to talking about detailing the three powers of creativity, innovation, and making a living. Is like it's kind of based on what you do. So I told my story, so kind of give perspective of what I'm saying. That way, it's not just filler. No, you don't see it's just a concept. I gave examples told my story through each step. So that way you can kind of see like, okay, I can make sense and kind of see what you're at in your creativity or whatever projects you got going on, and say like, I can see that. Because that's what I do with anybody. That's what I do with older people. That's what I listen to older podcasts and different things and different ideas, because I can see the commonalities and with my experiences and how can I add my own ideas to it. So then from there, from those three powers, recognize those three powers, we talk about how you support the Renaissance. And who's included in that Renaissance? Anybody that's in Indianapolis that has anything going on, any idea, any concept, whether it be food, style, art, music, design, whatever it is, podcasts, keynote speakers, whatever you're into, if you have an idea that you want to get off the ground, I consider you a part of it. And it's like, and if you believe in, seeing Indianapolis be a place
of creativity, inspiration, innovation, and, disruptive economic development. Not just, I'm going to put a little bit here, a little bit there. I'm like, no, we have to pull our money together and circulate the money between us. And that's why I talk about from supporting it. It's either you can support, say the podcast per se, right? You can support it by spreading the word. So like a retweet, screenshot it, put on your story, or just telling a friend or texting a friend about it. That does wonders because people are influenced by their friends. So it's like, if you fuck with it, all right, I'm open to it now. Yeah. And this person could have seen it multiple times, but the fact that his friend said like, yo.
Man, that happens a lot.
That happens with Lari. So, I mean, like, people see Lari all the time, but they don't, I don't know what to do. But they have their friend like, yo, we gotta go. And they're like, shit, I already seen it a couple times. So it's all confirmation bias. Like, people like to confirm. People are scared to try things.
Yeah.
So I kind of wrote this to kind of like get the community to do it. So that if everybody in the community is doing their part to kind of follow these steps, it's no reason why everybody doesn't benefit from it. So from there, it's like spread the word, right? Now from there, next step is like paying for something, right? So say for you guys evolve into doing, a live show. So say for example, you go to Meridian Event Center or, the industry building or whatever venue you guys doing. So now you put up Eventbrite link or Splashdot, whatever ticket service you want to do. Now let's pay for something. So now I go to pay for a ticket to go to see you guys do your podcast live. Now, if I'm, say for example, me, right? You guys come to the party, right? It's $10 and you guys have a ticket for $15, right? You guys already came and paid $10 with us, right? I go to you and I pay that $15. I pretty much gave you your money back, essentially. Yeah. And then, say for example, we do that routinely. However long, the money moves. Yep. The money moves. That's how basic economics. So you put money into this and it puts it back out. Put it in, put it back out. Yeah. So that's how I'm trying to create the culture of like, okay, you got a pop up. Let me go ahead and spend $30 with you because I know you're gonna spend $10 with me, and I'm gonna give you back. You're gonna give me the back. So I'm gonna get it back. Even I spend, and some people, the short-sighted people would think like, okay, I spent $30 on a shirt, and my thing is only $10. The short-sighted person would be like, well, he got over. No, he didn't. Because if you have an understanding, like, if they buy into the culture, they buy into the support system that we're setting up, if I spend $30, right, and he comes to my parties 3 times, I just got that $30 back.
Right.
It's having that long-term approach to what you're building. And are you trying to build and play forever, or are you trying to just build and cash out and exit, And so it's about having that long-term thing. And everything I'm doing, the people I work with, it's all about the long-term benefit, not the short-term benefit. That's why some people get mad at me sometimes and be like, oh, you didn't do it. Well, I'm thinking long-term. Why would I do this and now it's affecting you long-term? I'm looking at your best. I had tweeted a couple of days ago. I was like, yo, sometimes telling somebody no is in their best interest more than telling them yes. And so it's like from there, you got the third step is giving feedback. So say, for example, I go to the podcast and say you guys put out a Survey Monkey link and you're like, hey, how we do? You got a couple questions about maybe things you want to ask, maybe you want to know from us. So I fill that out, send it back. Or I tweet or post or say, yo, this is awesome, which is twofold because now it's feedback and it's promotion because now it's like, oh, some people who follow me like, yo, where's this at? I want to go. Yeah. And I gave you feedback. You know what I mean? So it's like twofold. So it's a system. And that's what I'm trying to create with this document is a definitive guide. It's not the end-all, be-all because a lot of it is based on the work and creativity that you want to add to this, but it's almost like a blueprint. Yeah. So that people in this city can be like, damn, all right, if I'm lost, I can refer to this. And then we go into that and just apply it.
The roadmap. And
I give you all the steps. Each step, even from the 3 steps, I give examples of what that looks like. So that way it gives your mind set the expectation of where your mind needs to be when approaching that step. So.
Yeah, and you didn't just say it too. Like you said, you related it even to your own experience, which makes it like, it kind of goes in chronological order, which makes it easier to digest. Yeah. Even for somebody that's like not within that community, or maybe they're thinking about getting into that, the creative space, and that's have some ideas and whatnot.
That's what's really for, and that's kind of what we push in the next couple of months is like getting into these bigger spaces, different outlets to kind of get people who don't know, or maybe they know, they just don't know how to approach it.
Right.
This gives them a way to approach it. And for me being the person I am, I'm constantly trying to find people to help and retweet and post and all this other stuff. So I'm like, now, and I told somebody at the party in the parking lot, when people doing the parking lot pimping thing, we was just conversing. And we're just like, I'm telling people like, yo, if I'm able to kind of get people who would not care about let alone what I do, let alone what you do, like if I can get them to care, now they can enter our ecosystem through this way. And that's what the parties are for, is to have people enter the ecosystem in a way that's like, okay, it's a party. I like parties. Let me go and check it out.
Right. And
then now you have these people like you guys there, and like, yo, you just happen to be at the bar and like, yo, yeah, is that a podcast? Where's that? Oh, it's my podcast. Oh, shoot, can I listen to it? Oh, right. Yeah, we're on SoundCloud, the whole rundown. Yeah. And it's that kind of organic thing. Yep. And the thing is, that's kind of what the guide is for. It's like organic growth. It takes a lot longer. It takes time. But you're young. We're young. We're in our 20s.
That's real.
You got enough time. And I told Sade, the art lady, I was like, if I'm 30 and nothing is transpired, then okay, back to corporate America I go. But I gotta at least try. Yeah. I gotta at least try.
You're doing yourself a disservice.
That's gonna be there.
Jobs are not going nowhere, man. As long as we're in America and capitalism is a thing, there's always gonna be jobs. I told my mom, I was like, she asked me, you not scared to fail, are you? I'm like, no, because the thing is, I remember being 15 and wanting a job so bad, and once I got it, I walked to work. I walked 5 blocks to get to work. I worked at Dairy Queen on St. Vincent, Michigan Road, and I literally walked from Kessler Boulevard. From there, that's about a 45-minute walk.
Yeah.
Then when I got a bike, when I got enough money to get a bike, rode my bike, rain through the snow. Then when I got enough money to get a car, it's just like I'm willing to do the work. And that's the thing people don't realize. They look at the success, they look at the growth. Oh, there's a lot of people here. People try to capitalize and think about the growth, not realize it's work. They wasn't there when I was outside in the dead of winter, passing out flyers, putting up posters all across the street, all across the city. Like, I put in the groundwork. And someone would say that doesn't work, but I did it because I knew what I'm really trying to do. I'm trying to get the visual and the word. I want you to see in the city, like, damn, Lari, what is this? Then when you see on the internet, like, damn, okay, I see this again.
And that's most of the tweets you see. Like, what does Lari mean? Or who is Lari? Or what is Lari?
I think essentially you saw the bigger picture.
Yeah, it's always about the bigger picture. You had the passion
and the dedication and the drive to push until everybody else recognized it and saw the bigger picture.
Yeah, and that's the thing you got to do with your creativity. And you got to think, we're in Indianapolis. And that's something, another reason why I made the arc was like, I know, like, people don't realize I had this thing in 2012 when I came out of North Central. Before I was going to Columbia in Chicago, I had a store called Roxbury Bodega. My senior year, long story less long, I saved up all the money I had from Dairy Queen to buy product to sell. So I was pretty much like a retailer, like a Macy's or Quality or Gasso. Got all these cool brands and set up shop, open it up, and that was my first foray into doing something creative for Indianapolis. Because I would come back, sell stuff, go to different events and stuff like that, sell stuff. And people don't realize, a lot of people that knew me back then, seen that I was part of life, oh, that's you. It's kind of crazy. They look back on it and be like, dang. And I took about time, was like, some of the relationships I have is like from 7 years ago. Yeah. People just knowing me back then. And they were like, yo, whatever you doing, because you tried to do something like this now and nothing has changed. It's a different medium. And so, I figured that's kind of what you got to have, the bigger picture aspect of everything. What you're doing is like, look at yourself and look at the bigger picture. So I had the Think Global, Work Local campaign. It's like, it's like, think about what you're doing in a global fashion, because that way it's on that level, and that way nobody can reduce what you do to, oh, it's only in Indy, it's only good for Indy. No, it's good for the world. It's good. It's on that level for anybody. Like, y'all podcast can be in the same conversation as a Joe Budden podcast, or the Ringer, or the Read, or
Rogan,
Friend Zone.
Whatever.
And that's why people have to get your mindset to think like, yo, I'm not trying to be the best in Indy. Yeah, you want to be the best in Indy, but like, you want to think, I want to be the best in the world.
Yep.
The Olympics, you want the best of the best of the best.
Exactly.
And you do that with the Work Local side of it. It's like working together, working with the talent we have here. We have a lot of talent. People don't want to believe in it. And so that's why it comes from there.
It's real.
Yeah. Couldn't have said it better, man. Definitely check out that article. Like you said, it's a step by step. And Yeah, enlighten yourself. I mean,
straight up.
Hopefully in the
embrace
end,
the grind.
Yeah.
And my goal is really if all the creators in the city are like cooking, everybody's rocking, they doing their thing, they getting buzz and they're making money doing what they do. It's like now the higher ups in the city can be like, oh, you guys are making money. Okay, let's get that taxed. Let's start investing in this now.
Yeah.
And so, I have that foresight, and I feel like that's the difference between me and a lot of maybe the critics or maybe the people that are maybe not fond or don't care for what we're doing. It's like no matter what success we have, it's all about doubling down, and giving back to the people that we're serving. Because who am I to kind of like have you pay me $10 to come to the party and I give you nothing?
Yep.
That's not good leadership. And so I think that's Indianapolis had that time where it was like, okay, you are this guy, but it's all about what they're gaining. And they're not giving anything back. And they may say, oh, I'm going to give to charity. No. There's a dude that is right next to you that needs that support. You know what I mean? If you're going to give him $1,000, shit, put $1,000 towards their tickets or whatever product they got. You know what I mean? That'll help them a lot more. But the thing is, I realize in Indianapolis, there's not a whole lot of people that, one, have a global perspective, but they want the city to be global. And you have to have the understanding of how culture drives the growth of a city.
Word.
New York, I tell people all the time, the only difference between New York and Miami, Chicago, LA, from Indianapolis is one, water. Two, we had a lagging start when it comes to immigration and different ideas and different cultures, and it's not for nothing. I mean, it's a cultural thing. It's, Indiana's, we all know it's a red state, all that shabazz. But it's the fact that like accepting that that's what it is now. But the good thing about that is this is the time more than ever that you can shape the future of Indianapolis. And that's what the article is for this. It's like give you the tools to kind of shape what you do, help add to the conversation, add to the history, and make Indianapolis have a rich history from here on out. So that when your kids or your grandkids, they see Indianapolis, or maybe you have your family come back, it's like, damn, my ancestors created this. They created this culture. The reason it's such a bustling city is because they added their spice to it. They added their flavor to it. And we have all these people adding their thing. It's no reason why the city can't be beautiful. Because and I tell people all the time, I tell all the higher ups, it's like, any meeting I go to is like, in their mind, it's about, it's about the money, We're not realizing if I go to New York, I don't want to go to Times Square. I'm going to go to Times Square one time, right?
Right.
And that's it. I'm going to just do it because it's the tourist thing to do. But I really get the best experience. And I remember my experience with that city by doing what the locals do. It's supposed to invest into the locals. It's invest into the local restaurants, the local artists, the local musicians,
that's
local
real.
Designers, because that is our perspective. They tell our story.
Yep.
Because they live it every day. So that through their work, they convey that perspective. So that's what we have to start doing. That's why this is so important. And I had to say what I'm doing is important, but like this is super important. Nothing I do is, if nothing else I do is important, I need people to read this because this is the thing that's like would change a lot of lives, I would think.
This is
and
the
saying a lot,
picture.
But I just need people to understand, like, if you got something going on, listen to this. Because that way, put yourself in perspective. And that way, you're not on Twitter or Instagram crying about support. But I see it all the time.
Yeah.
Even to this day, I'm like, I mean, I was like, how do you get this? I support people. It's that simple. Yeah. Even if you want to be transactional about it, if you support someone, they're going to be more likely to support you.
Yeah, they are.
Don't expect it, but they're more likely to. But me, I just operate from like a selfless place. If my cup is filled to the brim before I even meet you, it's nothing to give to you. I have enough to give. I have more than enough to give. And that's what people have to come to. People are looking at scarcity mindset. You gotta be in this abundance mindset of like, I'm already good as is.
Yeah.
And that's the only way you can even show love. That's the only way you can give love or, spread the word about things because you got your shit going already.
That's real.
Yeah. A lot of people kind of fall into that nickel and dime, like you were saying earlier about the $30, but I'm getting $10 back kind of thing as well. And it's just like, I mean, if you giving that energy, you gonna get it back. You can't always look at it as like the
nitpicky, like, and
exactly.
people do that.
The monetary thing, because it's really about the energy. Like, you'll get it back.
They might spend $10, but they gonna tell 10 other people about what you're doing, and then all right, that's $100.
Because they about like this.
So
even if people that got in it for free on Friday, people don't realize it's like they had a good time, right?
Yeah.
So when we announce our bigger space and all that, they gonna be like, damn, I got it free last time. It's worth it. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? You know, so it's like sometimes you have to have the foresight to be like, you know what? Even though in the short term I may take a hit, in the long term I'll gain more. And you have to ask yourself, I feel all the time, it's like, what's more important, the short term or long term? You 21, 23, 24, what's more important? You got time. Time is on your side right now. Think about the long term. Build your thing the right way. That way it can survive the test of time. Because everybody has their run. I said this on the That's Opinion podcast, the sports podcast. I was like, last fall, I was like, everybody, as far as parties or clubs or whatever, everybody has a 2-year run. Your window is short. Capitalize appropriately. And so when you do it right. Like Lil Nas X, he's capitalized on his moment. Yeah. So
he milked it for sure.
And he's continued to do it. He ain't hit the road yet. Yeah. So it's just like you have to, when you catch a moment, make sure you use it the right way. And I feel us kind of like, I don't really drink the Kool-Aid, but I can kind of feel us kind of starting to finally kind of catch some steam. And for me, it's super important that I use it the right way. And I direct the team the right way. And that's why I do the article. So people can see. The eyes going to be on us. I want you to see that we are for the people. And we are about investing in people. We're not just going to take from you. It's about community development. It's about reinvesting. And so that's what I tell people all the time. Like, the money that you guys spend with us is like, it goes to a good place because it goes to you, back to you, essentially. Yeah. It's just us saving up as enough as we can, pay Uncle Sam, and then use that extra money, whatever left over, to invest in everybody. Invest in you guys. You can do you say, for example, y'all want to do a live show? All right, cool. So they all come out of pocket. Let's go 50-50, We know how to do the marketing. We know how to put things together and put the events together. You guys have the talent. Let's bring it together, and it'd be a beautiful thing. Yeah. And from there, the long term about it is like, okay, now what's good? Now it's good. Yeah. So that's real. That's the story. So. Yeah.
Hey man, that was great. I appreciate you elaborating on that. Let's get to the lives, and then we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. So who wants to start here? I only have a single, so
go ahead.
All right. So I have a single that dropped on Friday. It's from 88 Keys. It's a producer. It's with Mac Miller and Sia, and it's called "That's Life." Very smooth song as well. R.I.P. Mac Miller. I just think it was phenomenally produced. And the way they used Sia in the song was very interesting, because usually on her song she has a very, how can I put this, polarizing, kind of voice. So on this song it was more like the spotlight was on Mac Miller. So I really like that as well. So definitely check that out. It's called "That's Life." And like I said, dropped on Friday. So
I had one that I listened to maybe 2 weeks ago. I didn't want to present it until I fully digested it. His name is Marco McInnes, and the name of the album is Immerse. He gave me an older vibe, like his voice, even in the sound too, like in the beats or in the music itself. But he's very talented. Yep. And the lyrics on this album was really tight. Immerse is spelled E''MERSE. But yeah, this album was pretty good, man. His name is Marco McInnes.
The one I have is, I just don't think he gets a lot of recognition. It's Mark E. Basie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I saw him at the Ty Dolla $ign concert a while ago. And he did a really good job, but the last project he dropped, I went back to listen to it, and it was really, really good lyrically.
He's talented. His
singing, all of that. So if you haven't heard of him, go check him out. He's really, really dope.
So that's a lob for the whole artist himself. That's dope. That's dope. Got anything, Steven?
What you got, man?
Yeah, song I've been really liking a lot. Came out maybe early this month. Was No Idea by Don Toliver. Super good. Sounds like Can't Say 2.0. Like, it's beautiful. So, yeah.
I really like that song Back End that he had
Oh, yeah.
on that project as well. Was that the same project? No, he dropped it. So No Idea is a single? Yep, I see it. Okay. Download that. All right. Well, Steven, we appreciate you coming on. Beat Me is this upcoming Friday, correct?
Yeah,
so definitely show up for that. And yeah, I think that's it. Follow the IG page at $3-4 Podcast. You can follow our personals as well. And yeah, let's go ahead and get out of here.
Let's go.